Excellent.
You don't know what you're doing.
Welcome to an all-new episode of Much to Do About Nothing, the greatest geek show on the planet. I'm very excited for today's show. We have so many fun things to talk about. I know a lot of you guys are ready for us to break down episode 2 of The Last of Us. That is on the docket. And also, we got to break down Jason Momoa's comments because I think he's become another character in his mind. Not even for DC, just another version of whatever Jason Momoa's manifestations are. But we got so much to talk about on this episode, and we're going to get right into it. But before we do, let me introduce our cast, starting off with Didge. What's up, Didge?
Oh, I want to go to bed. But hi, everybody. How are you guys?
Same here. I definitely fell asleep on the phones at work today. So I ain't even mad at you. I am not even mad at you, brother. I definitely woke up in the middle of a call, forgetting that I started it before I fell asleep. But anyway.
I fell asleep during the meeting today. I get you. I woke up. I heard everybody. I woke up and heard everybody. All right, guys, that was a great one today. We'll talk to you next time. I was like, ooh.
You're just like, ooh.
No
all
one
right.
asked me about anything.
Who took notes, guys? Next up, Trevon. What's going on, Trevon?
Hey, I'm trying to figure out what Jason Momoa is doing, because it's like the second time he said, something's happening. I'm like, well, can you tell us? Like, you get tired of you coming out and saying this. Like, I'm excited for you, whatever it is, but I'm getting tired of you coming out saying, so excited about this thing, and I'm like, and then you confused with people like, so is it Lobo? You like, I didn't say that. Then what the hell are you saying? So I don't know. I don't know. We need to stop talking or tell us something. I don't know.
I will say this, though. For people paying attention to Jason Momoa, he does this all the time. He did this when he was hyping up the Snyder Cult, that something was coming from Zack after that cut happened. He does it a lot. He gets really excited and jumps the gun. So sometimes it's before something's actually coming down the pipeline. Bro, I was falling asleep, too. It took here in New Jersey. It was a very rainy day all day today, so that did not help me whatsoever. That was
it was just
worse.
cold today in Wisconsin, but
that's every day in Wisconsin.
I was about to say, Didge said it like it's a climate that gets warm as hell. But okay, all right, cool. We're with you, Didge.
Well, to be fair, I hate the cold, so.
Yeah, I think we all do, Didge. I don't think the cold is for me at all.
Let me tell you how many people love the code here.
Because why they there, man.
What was that?
I don't know.
What's going on?
I don't know, but
Somebody
I don't.
was listening to some type of show tunes.
I'm just trying to figure out when Mike turned into a utility cord. But okay. Next up, Joel. What's going on, Joel?
What's good, guys? It's been a week.
Are you okay, Joel?
Yeah, he said that like he was in so much pain. It's it's been trying. It's
Captain. It's only Monday.
That's why I asked him, was he okay? He went through some rough times.
You live and you learn, you move on.
I love
it. I understand.
Damn. And I can guarantee you guys, it's nothing sad going on at all in his world. But he made it sound like it was.
Hey, there was a football game. That's sad enough for me.
I didn't even bring that up.
You said you were a fan of them now, so you should also be sad. But we know how that works.
Yeah, no. I feel nothing. But last but definitely not least, the voice from beyond, Mike. What's going on, Mike?
Yeah, nothing much. I'm on James Gunn watch. I'm trying to figure out what's happening. Dude's only got like 7 days left. We got a week left.
I said that to Joel. I said, does he remember he said January? Because it kind of feels like maybe he doesn't. Like maybe it'll just,
He said
I don't think it does.
Everybody leave him alone. That's why I said it.
I don't think people will ever leave him alone. That's the point.
He's gonna wait until the 31st at 11:59 p.m. to drop that tweet.
Yeah,
that's what it's gonna be.
I'm just like all this setup. Everyone's gonna be so disappointed. It's like 2 or 3 things. And it's like, oh, that was obvious.
To be fair, he did say that it was only going to be a couple of things.
Right,
He didn't say I'm going to give you the whole universe, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm more excited for when he does announce what the couple of things are. That people just go, no, nope, not even gonna let it build itself. I hate it.
Well, there's definitely people that don't care what it is, they just don't want it.
There are people saying no right now.
Yeah.
Man hasn't even said nothing yet.
They don't even know what
right
it is.
now.
They just don't like it.
Don't even know. They don't even want to open the mystery box. They're just like, fuck it, throw it away. I don't care. I don't want it. But again, when we get into that, those will become very fun times. It'll become because it'll become the pill that they're forced to swallow. I mean, the hate will not
they don't have to
rebuke it. The hate will not rebuke it. It won't put it away.
It won't stop us from liking it. So
no.
Let's go.
Not at all. I'm in the acceptance mode now, so it's just like fuck it, anything. Yep, yeah, I accept it. Yeah, do it. Do it.
All the Guardians coming in. Okay.
Why wouldn't I enjoy Guardians? Why wouldn't I enjoy the characters from Guardians coming into DC?
Why is that a bad thing?
I don't understand.
Why is that surprising?
I also don't understand that. Yeah, I mean, the guy very clearly likes to bring in who he likes. I don't see the issue. Yeah, bring who you think is best suited for the job, and we'll see where the pieces land. That's kind of how I view it. Put no expectations on it. Don't really care either way.
We'll see.
Just want a cohesive universe. But all right. Mike, I think I have here. Let me see, because I don't want to say this without knowing for sure. Oh, perfect. Mike, we're getting into The Last of Us. Can you drop that track for us?
Drop that beat.
Drop that beat, DJ. All right, guys. Welcome to our segment where we will be breaking down episodes of The Last of Us. Today, we are breaking down episode 2 of The Last of Us.
What happened to Trevon?
Yeah, he dropped out. This
can't do it.
I will say this. That first episode being as long as it was definitely set me up for this episode. I forgot. I just started expecting every episode would be long. So when it ended, I was just like,
didn't it?
I was like,
I docked it half a point for that.
Right, exactly.
Half a point
exactly. I was very much just like, you know what? I hate this whole franchise now. Where's more of my episode? Where is it? But no, I mean, again, it's just it's the visual of it. Right? And it's so funny? Not getting too far ahead, but there is a character that did not survive this episode that I was moments away from texting you guys going, does this character survive in the game? And the moment I said it, Ellie said what she said, and I said, oh.
It's crazy because it was foreshadowed. Like the way I was telling them, we did our review earlier today. And we were talking about how foreshadowed like the game was, because both me and Deuces had played it with our other host Bacardi. He hasn't, so he's going into this completely blind. And I was like, it's crazy how I remember it being foreshadowed in the game, but how it just everything seemed so amped up in television. And I was like, yo, they threw it to you on the silver platter that you, because like you said, you're like, yo, she. Did she survive? And it's like, because it was literally hand delivered to you, like, yo, say all your prayers to her now, because
say goodbye. Yeah, she out of here. Say goodbye. Let her know.
She was getting too attached to Ellie.
She was. That was the problem. That was the problem.
She was starting to sort of show a little bit too much. I was telling them, Mike, that it felt almost like anime, where you start learning a little bit too much about the character, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. It's like, oh, when a supporting character gets a backstory, they did.
Right.
Kind of like when Krillin.
From and stuff.
Kind of like when Krillin
Krillin
was
dies
trying to
all the
step
time.
up to Frieza, and it was just like, oh, Krillin, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. But it'll wake something in Goku, so that's good. But you're gonna die. It's so funny because it feels like the writers are like, hey, someone needs to die to awaken Goku. Should it be Gohan? No, come on, that's his son. Well, who? Vegeta? No, we did that. Krillin. Yeah, no one gives a fuck about Krillin. Do that. Only Goku cares about Krillin. Yeah, kill him. Kill him and make it bad. Make it real bad. But no, I mean, it felt like that, Didge. It felt like I kept saying to myself, Ellie, stop being friends. Stop. You're going to get her killed. Like, enough. You're so selfish. Stop it. And sure enough, she did. Also, okay. All right. And I'm going to pass this. Mike, I want to start with you, but I got to ask you this.
Okay.
Maybe I don't get it, but is there any particular reason why when she dumped the gasoline and then threw the grenades on the ground, her first instinct wasn't to just pull the pin of the grenades? Why was the lighter such an important thing to happen when you could have just pulled the pin of the grenade and it would have done the same exact thing for you?
Well, you see, Juwan,
Okay.
it's way cooler and way more dramatic, storytelling wise, to have her struggle with that lighter. There's no reason, like narratively, why she should be struggling with the lighter, but I will tell you that is the exact same lighter that Sam has in Uncharted 4. So the camera zooms in on it just to be like, hey, it's an Uncharted reference. Remember that terrible movie that I can't.
But you're not asking the right question, Juwan.
What's the right question?
Asking the right question. The right question is, did we really need that scene of the kiss? Like, I get why it was there, but we still didn't need it.
No, but I will tell you, as someone who has not played the game, right, and I don't really remember the full cinematic story, right?
That whole scene's different.
No. But what I'm saying is, for me, the way you started the episode is why I kind of needed that there. Now, I didn't need. I'm with you. I didn't necessarily need the kiss. Once you started showing that the things were kind of growing on to them, and they were kind of like waking up as like this fungi monster, you kind of hammered it home.
That's fine.
But I mean, once you throw grenades on the ground with the intent to blow something up, but don't blow the grenades, it's kind of like, well, the kiss is on its way, right? None of this is making sense.
You didn't need that. Like, that's the real question.
Let's throw in the kiss.
The kiss was probably just to show the audience this is how it spreads eventually.
Right.
That more than anything, because this episode is called Infected. This is the first time we actually see a clicker, right? We saw the start of the infection last episode, but we didn't see what it turned into, what it evolved into over time. So I feel like that was just them saying, yeah, it's gross, isn't it? There's no spores in this universe like in the video game,
right?
So it's through the kiss and through the tendrils and all that nonsense.
That's all new.
Yeah.
like that was not in the games, because like you said that they use spores in the game, and that it's more the whole hive mind thing. They're leaning into that more.
Yeah,
and they definitely did in this.
I do feel as though for people who have not played the game, the beginning of these episodes are so crucial, because it's foreshadowing so many things of what's to expect from the episode itself. Like the fact that she's like, the guy's like, hey, what should we do? And she's like, yeah, you got to bomb it all. He's like, I'm sorry, what? yeah, you got to bomb it. And then when they're walking through, you see the areas that got bombed, and you're just like, that is some shit America would do. Where it's just like, hey, people are here, but bomb it all, bomb everything.
That wasn't us though.
It was Indonesian.
Yeah,
that is also true. But come on, you know how America don't like to be left out of shit. They're like, oh, we want to bomb something. Who are we bombing? Can we bomb you too? No? All right. Well,
America saw it. Oh, we bombing? Oh, we bombing. Oh,
shit. Button. But
Dear
no.
YouTube, do not demonetize this video. But no, like that cold open, right? Like that for me is one of the best parts of this show, is because that's something that's not in the game. And it's just world building and adding more lore and like things you don't really think about, right? What was the first response, the initial response to this widespread? And I love that idea that she said, yeah, there's nothing we can do bomb us all.
She said, "Give up, just die, die."
And then
it's like, go ahead, Mike.
No, but then we see the craters, and Tess is just like, "Yeah, it didn't really work, did it?" It's like, yeah, that's unfortunate.
I love that so much because it felt so much like, hey, do you want to maybe like get in the lab and try? Nah, it's just kill everybody. We're just end it here. It's okay.
I mean, she told them like, "Yo, this is it. This
shit is ill, dog. This shit is ill. Just go ahead. Just bomb it all. Just get rid of it." Let's bring up a couple comments, Mike, before we I pass it back to you.
Yes. So initially we were talking about the grenade.
And Chuck did no zombie fungi thing is gonna be kissing up all on me. We throwing hands.
Seriously.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're telling me at the end of the day I'm dead regardless, I mean, can I get some kind of action before I go? You know what I'm saying? Let me get a little.
I need that last moment of
no.
I need that very much last moment for my pride, just to know when I'm in the afterlife. Like, yeah, I ain't get kissed though. Just,
Weird flex, but okay.
No. See, I would have to be consistent to who I am, right? I get tongued down by this fungi monster. Get up there like, yo, I was tonguing a baddie before I died, dog. And it's like, yo, Juwan, we saw it. We saw it, Juwan. We saw it. It was a fungi monster. Why are you lying? We all saw it. We have cameras here. We saw it, dog.
She was before she was infected.
Yeah, she was, right? Yeah, that one half of her face was fire, though, right? You saw it, right? Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess her point at that time was she was so weak from that ankle injury or whatever the hell it was, sprain, I don't know, whatever, almost put Patrick Mahomes out. She had suffered the same thing. And she was kind of just like, hey, fuck it. I'm dying. Just get it over with. Just do it. All right, what else we got in the comments before we pass it on? Bomb, we need to test our bombs too, make sure they work. Yeah, that's a United States special right there. Yeah, let's make sure our shit work. Make sure we're good over here. Yep. All right, Mike, I'm going to kick it back to you, man. What were your thoughts on episode 2?
Episode 2, it was great. I really love how so the first episode kind of set up the world and everything that's going on, right, with that cold open. And then we learn about Fedra and we learn about the Fireflies. I like how this one is just purely the infected. Mm-hmm. And we're learning more about the clickers and everything that has happened in this world, how it's changed the world as we know it with this mass infection going on. And so I just think that's very fascinating. I also just love the character moments, right? I love Tess. I love Joel. I love Ellie. I love seeing those relationships develop to the point where, like you guys were saying, Tess was getting a little too friendly with Ellie. And it's just like, yeah, that could have saw that coming, I guess. We should have saw that coming. But yeah, I thought it was a really strong episode. I just loved like the Easter eggs and references too, right? Like when Ellie can't swim. And that's just a funny nod to the games because notably, one of the things you have to do is figure out how to get Ellie across so many parts of the map because she can't swim. And right. So like having nods and stuff like that, I think were cool. But really just the original content in this episode with the cold open, with how we lose Tess and how that all kind of changes and evolves. For me as a fan of the game is what really made this interesting. Because seeing those changes didn't bother me. Whereas in some stories when they change things, it becomes a distraction.
Right. I think that was one of the things that felt video game-ish that I loved was how they're like, there's an easy way, but it's some crazy shit. Or we could do the hard way, right? And I love how either way was doomed, right? Like, because that's how a video game is structured, right? Is that it's supposed to make it hard for you. So either way you would have went, that the game would have taken you, you would have ended up in some shit. And that's why I'm like, I love that it felt like that, right? Like, it felt like there is no easy way out of any of this shit, right? You're doomed either way. I thought it was very well done. And I also liked how, and it did, I'm going to pass it right to you. I'm sorry. I also liked how when the clickers ran up on them, right, it wasn't an easy fix, right? It wasn't a quick, like, oh, yeah, I'm John Wick just shooting these clickers in the face. Like, nah, it was some close-ass calls, right? Yeah. And it's like that was a good foreshadowing for people who aren't familiar with it, because that one shot from the trailer where it shows, like, this big one kind of coming out of, like, a fire, it just sets you up. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry. But it just sets you up to know how serious everything is about to get with just these things. You know, forget the humans you might come across next week. Just the monsters are about to get crazier. So I just love how consistent they are with that.
Before we pass it on, I just want to jump on that right quick. I love how you have that initial encounter, right? And it kind of blows up in their face. That's exactly how it is when you play the game. It's like, we're going to try and do this stealthily. And then you accidentally make a sound or you make a noise and they spot you. And it's like, okay, I'm doomed. How do I get out of this? You have to shoot your way out. It's like, that's kind of a video game trick.
If you got the right equipment, sometimes you're like, well, I'm just dead.
Wait, okay. Hold on. Can I say one thing? And I'm passing it to you, Didge. This did upset me a little bit, right? Because I'm like, all right, if you're going to be authentic all the way through. I was a little upset I didn't get a little shot of them stacking up on supplies when they first got into that building. Before all the shit went crazy. I was like, come on, that's accurate. You would have loaded up on the bullets that you found there, grab a couple more guns. I was like, come on, dog.
That's kind of how it was at that point.
Was it in the game like that?
You kind of just went up, because even the point where it like fell in, you get to that point where it's like, all right, well, you can't turn back at this point. Because like I said, when they first got into the room, when it shut, like, it caved in, it's like, well, that felt very video game-ish.
Yeah.
And I distinctly remember dying because low-key, the first time I tried it, I was like, bro, I don't care about stealth. I'm going. You needed stealth. And
wait. Distinctly. I think we're talking about two separate things. I'm talking about, remember the place they were in before she blew it all up? Yeah. It was filled with supplies. I was like,
you're talking. Okay,
yeah, I was like,
clicker.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, when they were literally surrounded by supplies,
No,
I was just like, well, come on, have Joe, reload on some bullets or something. Like, come on, man, be authentic.
No, okay, that's definitely fair. No, I was talking about
right.
In the situation with the clickers, like I said, I distinctly remember being like, I'm not doing stealth. I got this. I did not have it.
Wait, the clickers did the turnaround like Lawrence Fishburne, like, what? I bet. Let me kill this motherfucker real quick.
But no, yeah, to your earlier point of it feeling like a video game, like I said, as soon as they got into that room and they got in basically through a cave in where it's like, oh, some crazy stuff is about to go down because you can't run back if you needed to. That's that point in the game where it's like, all right, here's your auto save. Here's you can't turn around. So you hope you're ready.
Right.
But overall, the episode was so much fun, and it was, as somebody who did play the game, but played it so long ago that certain things aren't committed to memory anymore. Mm-hmm. It's nice to rediscover it again, where it's like, oh, I do remember that, or it's like you'll see an Easter egg and be like, oh, this is really dope and stuff like that. I really like what they're doing with it. I just hope it stays that way.
Yeah,
and give me longer episodes again. Like I said, they lost a half a point. They took 30 minutes away from me. You lose half a point.
I love how Didge is just like Norman Osborn and Spider-Man. It's just like, you can't do this to me. You know how much I've sacrificed.
We've been waiting a long time to get something that feels this good. So don't rob us.
I didn't even look at the runtime yesterday when I started. I was already just sitting here chilling, ready for it. And I'm like, yo, why is this already over?
I was a little upset too. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's good television right there. If you guys got mad that the 55-minute episode was too short.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as that shit ended, I just screamed, what the fuck? What? I thought they were pulling The Sopranos. I didn't know what was happening. I'm like, wait, hold on. What happened? I was very upset. So, yeah, I'm with you, Didge. Yeah, knock a couple points. Joel, as I pass it to you, how many times in this episode, right, were there moments from the game that you're like, oh, I died there? Oh, I died there? I died there? 6 times? I died there? Yeah, that clicker specifically killed me. Fuck that guy. Yeah, I died there? Like, did you get that feel at all from this? And then your thoughts on this episode?
I haven't played that level in so many years. I don't remember.
So you did. It's okay.
Where
you died like 30 times. It's okay.
It's not fresh in my brain.
Yeah, go ahead,
Shout out to them using the same actors who did the mocap for the clickers. Like,
oh, really?
That's a huge. That's a shout out to them.
To what?
By the way,
They
if
used
we
the same the actors who did the mocap for the clickers in the game, they used them again to be the clickers and
that is
obviously live action.
I'll say this: you guys remember the audition tape that they released of the people auditioning for zombies for Walking Dead? I want to see what these people look like trying to do the clickers, because that Walking Dead shit lives rent free in my head. I want to see what this was with them trying to be clickers. I want to see that shit. I want to see it.
I want to be a zombie in a movie one day. That's a low key a goal of mine. I would be a zombie in a movie.
Bucket list. Like, I want to be a zombie.
We look and we go, is that Didge? Like, what the hell?
I'll just give a little thumbs up to the camera.
wait, I can see Didge now. Like, whoa, I was reading the script. It says Zombie Z gets shot 50 times. Why does my zombie get shot 50 times? It's like, man, it's narrative. It's okay. Don't worry. It's like, yeah, but I'm the only black zombie. It's narrative. It's okay. It's like, all right, well, fuck you guys, man. I'm gonna do it, but I hate you guys. But no, Joe, what were your thoughts on this episode?
It was a great episode. Again, it was shorter, but again, I kind of expected it, considering pilots are usually longer anyway. So I went in expecting it, but I actually played out a lot different than I expected, because it's been, and I just recently watched the cinematics not long ago, but they made so many changes to that journey. I didn't recognize certain things. I'm like, when did this happen? I don't remember this. Like, I get this is extra. This is extra. I remember this, but I didn't play it like that. There was a lot of that, but I appreciate that, because it's like it's an adaptation, so they take what they want, and as long as like they give you the Easter eggs from the like things that you can compare to the game, you're good. And they didn't they didn't deviate too bad from anything. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, a lot of the newest stuff that they gave us that is obviously very different was the whole hive mind thing. That was not anything I remember from the game. So that's a whole new aspect that if they do bring to the games, it frightens the shit out of me, because I don't know how to deal with waves of clickers. It's already bad enough with the way they are now. So this is definitely a new dynamic. I look forward to seeing how they deal with them, because that's like the idea that you have to be careful which one you fucking kill, so you don't get like mobs. That's crazy. That's a crazy thought. So that was cool. That was different. That was new, and I do look forward to seeing how that's expanded upon. Everything else was just on par. Like I like the changes that they made. I like the whole that it was the hive that came after them instead of the military that was chasing them, and like, her bite was the same. That was the same. Kiss of Death was weird, but she was about dying anyway, so fuck it. So I was like,
yeah, that was my thoughts. She's on her way to die anyway.
Yeah, she's like, just come in so I can burn you, bitch. And yeah, it was last minute too. It's always last minute, right?
And to be fair, she didn't get her last kiss from Joel before he ran off. So it's like,
definitely did that.
Somebody's gonna kiss me before I die. This shit's just happening. You know
she's got the tentacles going down her throat before she.
That it's so funny. I guarantee you didn't even have to do that. I guarantee you, just like, I'm gonna be gross as shit right now. Take all that shit. The other zombies behind him are just like, ew, Daryl, we talked about this. You have to stop doing that. It's like, it's literally, you could just pet kiss her. You stop tonguing everybody, bro. God damn.
They want to
This is why we created HR for the clickers, okay? This is why.
Zombie HR?
Yeah, you just keep fucking
imagining
tonguing
zombie
everybody.
Toby from the office.
When you say that, Mike, you know what I think of is like a zombie Jim going, yeah, Michael, you should check back in the annex. Toby's back. And it's just like, no. It's like, yeah, no, he's back there. But yeah. That was definitely gross as shit. But I'm very excited for what else this show is gonna do. Like I said, it's just great. It's just great storytelling. With what it's doing, I think it's just really, really, really good storytelling.
They nailed the clickers. Like that's really one of the main parts of it. Like you nailed the click, and they're fucking disgusting. I try to tell people that never play the game, they're not normal zombies. Well, they start out kind of like normal zombies, but like once they get to that clicker form, disgusting. They're I like, even if I had to work with them. Yeah, I hate it. I can't. It's just, oh my god. It's terrifying.
To Joel's point, I just want to say this before we move out of this. The reason why, because I know some people might be like, okay, so they got it, but the reason why it's so important is no. But I'm saying the reason why it's super important is I want to remind you guys when Resident Evil came out, I had never played the game. I thought that's how Resident Evil was. I remember playing it for the first time going, there's no Mila Jokovic. I can't shank a bitch. I got a stealth. There was no stealth in that shit. What is happening here? And then I remember Joel was just like, yeah, it's not. No, that's no. I don't know what they were doing, Juwan, but that's not it. No, no, don't go off of that. Don't, no. Oh, you poor baby.
Honestly,
no.
One of the best interpretations of that game was that newer movie that came out that was really cheap. They did okay. It was still bad, but it was, at least they were accurate in certain areas.
But yeah, so that's why it's important to get certain things like that accurate, because people tend to mess those things up, right? So it's like when you can get it good, do it good. All right, let's move on, Mike. Let's talk a little bit about Jason Momoa. Trevon, you could pop back in and put back up that video for us.
Welcome back.
He was hiding.
He was hiding with Dracula. Oh!
Right.
All right, so let's check out what the hell Jason Momoa is talking about over this past weekend. Drop that track, DJ Mike.
By the way, I love that comment about me having glasses.
Yeah, that would be you, Didge. Go ahead, Mike.
We just addressed this real quick.
Easy.
Okay.
That's easy on my zombie.
He's such a bougie zombie.
Hold on. You would look in the back and Didge is just leaning.
No, but like, can you imagine Tess's death scene? And you just see the back, there's just an extra clicker all like, take you out.
Wait. And then the producers explained that Didge's scene being kept in there was kind of like the coffee cup from Starbucks at Game of Thrones. We meant to take that out, guys. That was not supposed to still be in there. We're sorry.
That's the
We're
problem
sorry.
with making the clickers practical and not CG. You could just deleted them if he was CG.
Delete that shit. Right. Didge is like, this will live on forever. You can't get rid of this shit. I'm back there.
Right.
Fucking this wine up. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. What is Jason talking about?
Let's see.
Is very, very wonderful. I'm in the house of Warner Brothers, and they like a lot of stuff I'm doing, and we got a lot of good things coming.
11 more months until we get
We're
another movie.
We're gonna have we'll have Aquaman, which is funny. It's the beautiful thing is me and my partner wrote the first treatment for it. It's about a 55-page treatment, and a lot of it has to deal with me talking to the UN, expediting what's going to be happening with the melting ice caps, and there's no far off galaxy coming to destroy us. There's no aliens from another place. It's really just the idea of us ruining our planet, and the fact that we all need to get it together and save our home. So it's fun. It's going to be coming out in this December, and then I'll always be Aquaman. The rumors aren't right. I'll always be Aquaman. Ain't anyone coming in there and taking shit. And then there might be some other characters too. So we can play. I can play other things too. I can be funny and savage and charming once in a while.
Can we just acknowledge how well he pulls off the cardigan? I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, to be honest, when you look, when you're that terrifying, right? I mean, beauty is just accepted in all facets, right? Because who's going to tell him he can't pull off the cardigan, right? That's the thing. That's when it's like when you're that muscular and scary. Of course, you look good in anything. Because who's going to tell you otherwise? Scary. Who's going to come in and go, "You look bad in that cardigan, bitch? I will kill you." It's like, oh shit, no, I'm sorry. You look lovely. I'm sorry, I twisted my words.
Good in everything. Or nothing.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know what the fuck he was talking about that Aquaman movie. I'll have to wait to see that trailer for that to even remotely interest me. But as far as the other things, it sounds like he was pretty much saying, "Yeah, I'll be somebody else that just won't look like me at all." Right? Like it won't necessarily be me per se, right? I don't know. Look, Jason, we're in confusing times. Last thing we need is for you to further confuse us. Okay, it's
not
just
too late for that.
Him and Zachary
I
Levi.
have no idea what the hell I just watched.
My God,
It's
just
him
like
and Zachary
goodness
Levi. Their
gracious.
comments are just like,
Because they
you
have
guys
movies.
actually think y'all are staying. Like, what is happening? Like, it's so
Ask
funny.
him after.
It's so funny.
Well,
Yeah.
again, I think if you're, well, first of all, Jason Momoa, I do believe, because it does seem like him and James Gunn are super close. So he probably has explored the idea of him doing other things. And again, Jason saying no one else is going to be Aquaman kind of seems like he maybe has not been given his pink slip yet. Same with Zachary Levi. They may
Maybe
not
they
have
won't
been
do
given the
Aquaman
pink
again.
I
slip.
just don't think they can
Maybe they won't do
say
him again.
anything yet.
Yeah, they're not gonna say
No,
there's gonna be
but-
a new Aquaman when there's a movie coming.
Yeah, you
out
can't
this
do
year.
that with a movie coming.
I don't disagree. But I'm saying it's not
Yeah,
like
sure.
Shazam hits theaters, right? And then Zachary goes, "Yeah, by the way, guys, I won't be back."
No,
I
but
think
they need to let-
Shazam
they need
is
to
so
let the
far
movie
away.
breathe. I think
Right.
they know what's up. They just can't say anything. You know what I
Ain't
mean?
Shazam like next? When does Shazam come out again? Is
March.
it like
March.
isn't it?
March.
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 Essentially next month because we're practically in February.
I tell you what. You know what,
Right.
guys? You know what? Let's not even go any further in the idea of what's going on between the two of them as far as like whether they're staring their characters. We'll know for sure if Zachary Levi is booted out by summer. We'll know what's up with Aquaman come December. Those pieces will very much be connected. I don't think those will be separate. I think we'll know if he's out, Jason's out. He will be Lobo or whatever else the fuck he wants to be.
Yeah. But I was just gonna add, like, we have to really pay attention to how he's saying these things, right? He says, no one's taking shit.
Right.
I will always be Aquaman.
Mhm.
Which is very
that sounds
different.
like a farewell.
But also keep in mind, like,
In
for
my heart.
example, he didn't give the role up to someone else. Like, no one's taking the role from him. He can give it away to become Lobo. And in our hearts, he will always be Aquaman, the same way Christian Bale is still Batman, right?
Okay,
He's
here's
not
my
doing
only-
it anymore,
Well,
even though we'll still see him as that. You know?
Here's my only issue with that is that when you say no one's taking it from me, we're getting we're getting specific here because technically it was, because if you do become someone else and you're no longer Aquaman, that was a decision James Gunn made. Because if this regime had not turned over to James Gunn and Peter Safran, you'd probably still be Aquaman, right? You wouldn't be anyone else.
My
So
problem-
it sounds like it was. I'm
my
sorry. Go
only
ahead, Joel.
argument to that, my counter to that, is he literally, before it was announced that he was Aquaman, scoffed at the idea of Aquaman. Well, during interviews, and it turned out that he was Aquaman. So he can lie if he wants to. It's been obvious. He's been lied before. He's not the first one. He's not the last one.
No, not at all.
And we don't know. We really don't know. Like, what the fuck? Like, is he gonna play double duty? That's crap. I would be open to it. I don't want that to be the case because obviously there's come on, there's more than one actor. You don't need one actor taking up two major roles. You know what I mean? But I just don't see the need to double duty. Like, I just don't see that. You know what I mean? And like, if you're getting like if you do the math, it just doesn't line up right. If you think logically, but again, if anything, we've learned anything about DC, it's just a lot of things don't always work out that way.
I think we also need to go look back at the Henry Cavill thing too. And like when that announcement came out, James Gunn said, I spoke to Henry and we'd love to work with him and get him in the universe again in the future. So I feel like that's just like, that's what he's doing with all of these actors. It's like, hey, you can pivot to this role if you want it. And I think Jason, that's why, again, it's his choice to let go of Aquaman, because he could have just put his foot down and say, then I'm walking away. Aquaman 2 is going to be the last Aquaman movie I'm a part of. But instead, he's like, oh, no, yeah, I'll be Lobo. I love Lobo. And thus, we're probably here. Assuming that's the character, all roads seem like it's leading to that, but he could be playing somebody completely different. What if he's playing like Mr. Miracle of all characters? You know,
that'd be a
What if they put him as
buff-ass
Brainiac?
Mr. Miracle.
So what? So
Oh, shit.
I remember James.
What
Gunn
if they
said
put him as
that-
Brainiac?
That'd be a buff ass. That'd be a sexy ass, buff ass, scary ass. Go ahead, Trevon. What was your question? In a cardigan, right? In a cardigan, not even in the armor. Just Brainiac in a cardigan.
Only if it's Brainiac 5.
I'm sorry. Hold on, guys. Go ahead, Trevon. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I mean, yeah, James Gunn said he would like to work with Henry Cavill again, but I remember Henry Cavill's statement was kind of contradictory to that.
I think that's because Henry Cavill doesn't want to work with him because he lost the role of Superman. That's how I took it.
I mean, again, we got to remember also, it's so fresh for Henry. It wasn't like Henry was told this 6 months ago, right? He just won't accept it. It's new. So it's kind of just like, well, no,
waited
fuck you guys.
Years to get that role back, and then made an announcement of his return, only for him to walk into the office.
And let's be fair. It's not shocking, his response, because I think if today you ask Edward Norton about Bruce Banner, or you ask, what's his name, about Rhodey, Terrence Howard, I don't think that they're still okay with being booted out. That's just all these years later.
I'm off for this, man.
I'm off for this, man. Fuck them, man.
Right.
Never get me as War Machine, man. So again, I think Henry's comment, Trayvon, might just because it's so fresh, right? It's like, bitch, that's like a job firing you and going, hey, if you want to ever apply again down the line, we'll maybe take you back. It's like, bitch, maybe don't fire me, okay? Let's start there. Maybe tell me what my next position is before you fire me from this one, rather than just firing me and hoping I can get a spot back someday. No, fuck you.
Yeah, I don't see it as a contradiction per se. I just see it as James put the offer out there, and Henry was just like, "I'm good," and let it go.
Right. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know because Jason Momoa gets so excited. He did this after the first Aquaman came out, right? And it was a success, and he's like, "We got something cooking," and it turned out that he was like, "It's because Aquaman 2 was greenlit," right? So it's like whenever he does these meetings. Whatever he wants, he gets out of them. It's just this does not make it clear what it is that he specifically wants to get out of this. Does he want to do double duty? Or was it like what Mike was saying to where it was just like, well, I'm not going to tell you guys that I'm not Aquaman anymore, but me saying I'll always be Aquaman sounds real Whitney Houston-ish to me, right? I'll always love you. That sounds past tense, right?
Go back to a few years ago where Ben Affleck got on Comic-Con stage and say, I'll do anything for Matt Reeves.
Don't remind me.
It's like,
don't remind me. Those were
you're muted.
Those were dark times, Mike. You're muted, Joel.
You're muted.
You're muted. He's like, you didn't hear anything?
It is still because I never pressed to unmute it. You guys said I was muted. I'm like, all right, let me go unmute it.
Yeah, no, don't bring that up, Mike. That still haunts me in my dreams.
I was
so many things.
That line, like him saying that on the Comic-Con floor, I fell for it. I believed it.
100%.
You know, I felt 100%. For the hook, line, and sinker. Like he
100%.
Got me, and I defended it. And that was the last time I defended it.
Never again.
I mean, hell, I believed him so much when these motherfuckers when he was like, yeah, I'm on Jimmy Kimmel, I'm retiring the Batman suit, and then like 5 years later, he's shooting all these scenes to still be Batman and I'm like, bitch, just leave, just stop it, like, just go away, enough.
At the time, it was like they had to like. Whatever. The point is that's over, and we can start over like we were supposed to.
Right. I still believe that the day he said I don't want to be Batman anymore, it just sent the whole world of DC into a whole ripple effect.
That did.
It was a massive ripple effect everywhere. All of a sudden, things just change. All right, Henry, fuck it. We got a whole new Batman, maybe in a different universe. You're not getting a movie right now. We got other shit.
That don't make sense. That should not matter.
We got other shit to figure out.
It does not matter what they do with Superman. That's another issue.
Just their whole world, Joel, just stopped making sense. They're like, I don't know, ups, down, lefts, right. I don't. You're just not getting the movie. Yeah. Fuck it. But Didge, you said this confused you even more. So were you confused beforehand, and then this just made it worse, or were things making sense and this just confused you?
Taking them by
none of this is just I have no idea what I watched. Like, the man said sentences, but they did not connect.
Not at all.
I don't know what's going on. Get us an announcement, something soon, please. I'm
at this point, Jason, whatever Jason's gonna be might have to be part of those first few announcements at this point. I mean, God, I can't go through a full calendar year of every time this motherfucker's in front of a microphone. You know, you heard James yesterday, right? You know, you never know. And it's like, Jason.
And it was in the most casual setting.
They gotta move his movie up. They're gonna do that or something.
Unless it's coming out tomorrow, Trevon, I can't take it.
You're gonna have no choice. It comes out.
No!
This movie is December.
Where was it? Was that
all
like
the way
house?
up?
It's crazy.
It might have been his house, Didge. I mean, this motherfucker seems his home is wherever he lays his head. So that it might have been the actual studio. I don't know.
I don't even know if that was part of an interview. I saw the thing that said it was part of an interview. I don't know if that. They look like somebody pulled up at his house and was like, "Hey, what you up to today?" And he just
that's a little blurry for me, Mike. What's it say?
Yes. Yes.
No. I can't see what the question is. I see the yes.
Being announced this month. Yes.
Oh, got you.
So basically,
like it says yes. I'm like, that's the only thing I see is the yes. No, I mean, look, we believe that he will say something before the year's over. So I think we all can agree on that. I think the problem is just waiting for it to actually happen, right? And it doesn't help when you get actors that come out and make things even more confusing. It's just like, I don't even... Huh?
I feel like we're going to hear that soon simply because Jason is a very smart guy. And so if that ball's going to drop soon, that's just him kind of like teasing it. I don't see him saying anything if Lobo isn't, or whatever he's a part of, is not announced in whatever James Gunn's about to say. Because you are effectively tanking Aquaman. Right. If you're telling me you're playing someone else, 12 months away? Because that's in December? So like almost a full year away?
Yeah. I don't know. I just... Like I said, I tell you this, there's no one that sells excitement like Jason Momoa. And I love it. I respect it. I sometimes have fun with it. No. I think Jason Momoa sells fun bigger than... I think The Rock can sell anything. But I think the way Jason Momoa sells fun, like when he announced that Aquaman was getting a sequel coming out of the studio or out of Warner Brothers or whatever, just a level of excitement got me hyped, and I wasn't even pining for that sequel to come as quickly as it seemed like it was. But he was so happy, I was happy for him. Like, fuck it, yeah, fuck yes, let's do it.
He has
hell yeah.
You're excited because he's excited,
right? That's really all it is. But I mean, I can't really classify anything else.
I'm excited to hear what he heard or what he knows, but we're not going to hear. I bet he's definitely going to know more than what James Gunn's going to even tell us. I'll tell you that. Right. So
and I will say that if the rumors are true or the theories are true, and it is possibly Lobo, I'm really interested in that because that sounds like he may have. Well, not only that, but it sounds like that might have been something he initiated. Like when James came in was starting to clear house, he was like, "Whoa! Before you fire me, can I be Lobo?" And he was just like, "I wasn't even thinking about Lobo." Yeah, fuck yeah, okay, sure, sure, yeah, all right, yeah, you can do that, yeah.
His favorite character, I don't know. Okay, I mean,
well, what if we get something weird? What if we get something weird, like they recreate the animated Man of Tomorrow movie? What if they do some weird shit like that? Like fucking Lobo's in that shit. Who knows?
Oh, you mean
who knows? Yeah, the animated. No, the animated movie.
I must have heard that. Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah, the animated movie. Right? That's what it sounds like, right? You kind of pitching this concept so early on, and the only thing we've heard so far is Superman, right?
That was pretty good too. I like
it. Was the way that they pulled off Martian Manhunter, Lobo, and Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what if they do that?
I like.
Yeah,
I'd be pretty hyped for that, right? And then you kind of just make Lobo as like your traveling mercenary, right?
I'd laugh because that's just everything we wanted Black Adam to be.
Yeah, that would suck. Where it's like just using Superman freely to interact with other people freely.
Yeah, you just have like this anti-hero that shows up out of nowhere, fights Superman, and then just has his own like franchise spin out from that. It's like that's kind of what we thought was going to happen with Black Adam. So,
but in reverse, because remember, Black Adam had the franchise. It was Superman we were waiting to get back into the swing of things. So it'd be reversed. Superman gets it. Lobo gets the. But anyway, I hope maybe something like that happens. That sounds really cool, right? That's something that's pretty cool. Go ahead, Joe.
Remember Lobo in Krypton?
Yeah,
I loved him in Krypton. I thought that was.
I agree.
That was great, and I was very upset that we never got. It was just a one season because they can't.
And I don't even think we got his bike.
I don't remember.
I don't think we got his bike. I don't remember seeing his bike at all.
I think, but I don't think it was. He didn't have a bike though.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think it was a bike. So I'm like, I would kind of like the bike. Was the Lobo from Young Justice speaking? What language was he speaking?
He was alien.
Oh, okay.
They just translated him back to English. With like
That's why I mean, Young Justice did so many cool things like that.
Because I'm like, like Cheesy Mo or some shit like that, and I'm like, what is that? What are you saying? What are you saying?
I just want to say one more thing about what Jason Momoa just said.
Good.
The Aquaman 2 sounds boring.
That's what I said. I'm like, oh, shit, he just made that movie underwhelming as fuck.
I was like, what?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You could cancel that.
I'm like, did Leonardo DiCaprio write this movie? Like, what the fuck?
I love it.
I don't understand how Black Manta plays into that. I was
like, what?
He's the main villain, I think.
No. We know that Didge is saying he just sold it as it's a global warming movie. So Didge is like, well, what is going on? Blow up the polar ice caps? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like,
I'm just waiting.
Is he at the ice caps?
I don't think that was.
That's what he said. He said nothing's coming to fight. Nothing. I was like, what? What you mean?
Yeah, I'm like, man, way to take the wind out of this movie. Yeah, no aliens I'm fighting and shit. No cool shit. It's just me making sure that no plastic wraps are trapped around turtles' necks, guys. That's just the whole movie. It's just
I'm just waiting.
Black Manta's doing donuts on that. He's doing
Aquaman at the UN.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the tweets and everything come like October. Aquaman is woke. The woke mob has ruined Aquaman because it's just gonna be all environmental stuff and none of the cool things.
I thought that happened with
it's on brand for him, at least.
I mean, now again, let's be very clear. Aquaman is that character. He does defend things like that. Yeah. It's just the way he sold it was just like, I
don't think that's the premise of the movie, though.
I don't either. I'm just saying the way he was describing it was just like
they wrote the treatment. I mean,
that was he said the original treatment, like the 55 pager. He said he was talking about.
Right. Again, Joel, I'm not taking that necessarily literally. I'm just saying you started by taking out all the cool shit and then going, Just, me at the UN.
I don't think he was trying to sell a movie. I think he was trying to compare his real life self to Aquaman. Like they're both.
Oh, maybe I didn't connect that dot. Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's very much him in real life.
Like Didge was saying, he was saying sentences and they just didn't connect to each other.
That's really what it was. Because I didn't connect that dot. Bravo to you, Joel, because I didn't connect that dot at all. I thought he was legit telling us a synopsis. So I was just like,
yeah, he is. He's very environmentally friendly. But like we saw the clips that we saw. Like we didn't see a lot, but none of what he said matched what we saw. So, like,
that's what Didge is saying. It just sounded like words being said.
I don't think he's not giving us the premise of the. I don't think that he was talking about the movie, in my opinion. But whatever.
Fair enough. No, look, fair enough. Like I said,
I'm gonna be honest. I hope you're right because I don't know what. I don't understand it.
That's what I said. I can't wait for this trailer because I don't remember the footage from back then.
You don't need a superhero for that movie. If that's the movie you're doing, you don't need to be Aquaman.
I remember when this was
could have just been him.
He was all excited about that when this was posted. He was like, he did?
Yeah, he was supposed to have a bunch of random pictures early on, right?
Yeah. It was
about it in the interview, though. He got excited. Jason did. I was like,
He did. Because that's what
I mean. Let's be real. Hold on, Mike. Bring that back up for a second. Let's stop being coy. Let's be real. That motherfucker you just saw in that photo right there just looks like Jason Momoa. So it's like, I mean, I'd be excited too if I looked at a character that looked exactly like me. That looks just like Jason Momoa right there.
I thought it was somebody who drew it to be Jason
Right?
Momoa.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, bro, like picture when Samuel Jackson saw that they made Nick Fury black, and he's just like, well, of course I'll play him. He looks just like me. Like, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, of course, yes, of course. So I'm like, shit, whoever drew this, that is Jason Momoa right there. The hair and everything.
I mean, Lobo classically looks like that.
No, I know, but I'm saying that it looks exactly like Jason Momoa. So I'm like, fuck it, yes, of course. That makes sense that he wants to be him.
I almost feel like that's like the first thing he posted too.
This is the first thing he posted.
No, that's the first thing he posted on Mastodon. But the first thing James Gunn posted after getting the job was Mr. Terrific.
That's right.
That's why everyone was just like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
I was excited because then, like, at the time, we were getting the JSA, so I was like, oh, let's do this.
Now, wait. Really quickly, Maya, I'm going to go right back to you. Joel, I want to ask you this only.
Why?
When James Gunn gives us Mr. Terrific,
yes,
is it important that we see how he goes from an afro to braids each time he fights? Is that important?
I don't see why
is that important?
No, we don't need an afro. Don't do
you sure?
Okay.
All right.
Just give him waves and call it a day.
I'm just saying, I would love a scene where he calls Tanya and like on the car ride to on the car ride to the scene, she's just in the car, just braiding his hair as he's driving. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Joke to see him braided as he's on his way.
I mean, he could have one of his spheres do it, right?
I was gonna say,
make it a text thing.
It's braiding it fast as hell. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I just had to ask. But Mike, go ahead. What were you about to say?
I was just doing some detective work here while you guys were talking. So I found the post that James did on Mastodon of Lobo. That was on November 8th.
Okay.
Then on November 9th, it looks like Jason Momoa said, quote, "It just had a meeting with DC. They're making my wildest dreams come true."
Well, there you go.
After the Lobo pick went up.
Yeah.
And now we have him talking about, I could play different characters.
Yeah,
and so
charming, that could be bad.
And that's why, to Joel's point, that's why it's like clearly it seems like you're obviously not going to be pulling double duty, because the photo Didge just saw, the first thing he thought was, oh, someone drew Lobo to look like Jason Momoa. No. He just looks like Jason Momoa. So you can't be Aquaman that looks like Jason Momoa and Lobo that looks exactly like Jason Momoa, just painting shit on his face, right? Yeah. So it's like, you can't do that. That at that point is just like, all right, you're stretching yourself too thin. Pale Momoa, right? Yeah. So it's like, don't be confused.
Like you cut his hair and shave his face. You know what I mean?
Unless you do that, but at that point, it's not Jason Momoa anymore. No, it's not. You're changing the man. Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
So, in an interview in 2019, Jason Momoa says he would love for Lobo to be in the Aquaman sequel.
Really?
So I guess he was saying, put a mirror in front of me, and I'll just act against myself. I'll just act against myself. No one will ever know.
Yeah.
If he shows up, I'm crying laughing out of that theater.
You know he pitched it, and the studio was just like, Jason, it doesn't make any sense.
Like, what? Who?
We're not doing that. We won't make a Green Lantern movie. You think I'll let you use Lobo? We're not doing that. No.
He said, by the end of my movie, I'll get hit by the Flashpoint remnants, and then I'll be all set.
I've got a clip here, guys. If you want
yes, play it. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, play it. Play the clip. Because we only got like 1 or 2 more topics.
This is from YouTube.
If you had to choose to have another superhero from this franchise, what would you have to be like? Oh, of course, Lobo, yeah.
You didn't even wait.
This movie we talked about.
That was it. It was just Lobo.
He didn't even like breathe.
He's talked about he has every comic and everything before. Like, I've seen that interview too.
Yeah. So that's why I don't feel like he was forced into it. Like James Gunn went to him with Lobo. I feel like he was probably like, hey, I really wanted to do this for a long time. While we worked on this together, and that could have been what that meeting was about. It's like, we want to introduce cosmic DC, right? And like Lobo is a cool character to kind of explore it, who's not a Green Lantern, see like the outer reaches of space in the DC universe. So that's actually
Space
really
Bounty
cool.
Hunter. We already got that Mandalorian, imagine.
I was about to say, let's be real. James Gunn can have as much fun with Lobo as he did with Star-Lord. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he had to be sold on that. That's why I said, I feel like Jason Momoa said, I know why you called me down to your office. I just saw Henry on my way in. Just hear me out. Like, hear me out before you say what you have to say. I'll be Lobo. James Gunn was just like, oh, yeah, sure, okay. Yeah, okay, totally.
You know what's funny about this comment right here? It says Jason was like, pay me double. I feel like Jason would be like, I'll take half. But I want this. He love that character so much. Like, I feel like he'd be like, I'll take half.
I ain't even mad at you, especially knowing what the alternative was. You ain't nobody for a minute, dog. It's just, fuck whatever you want to pay me. I don't give a fuck. Just let me back in here. But yeah, so for me, like I said, my excitement is of Jason's excitement, and that's really all I can give to it. Is that I'm happy he's happy, right? Because there's just some people. Yeah, come on, look at that. I mean, come on now. Now, to be fair, whoever did this editing, they did the same background when they tried to draw him as the Crow. And it's so funny because the Crow does not look that much different than we were looking at right here. Really. So yeah, I mean, look, it fits. Like I said, I would love to see him in a Man of Tomorrow kind of movie or premise rather. I think that'd be a really cool way to introduce him. Because if you do that, right, it's alluding to the fact that clearly Superman doesn't come from Earth, Martian Manhunter doesn't come from Earth, Lobo doesn't come from Earth. There's a whole bunch of shit out there, right? Wow. And then you just gradually, once you get Earth straight, you gradually start to explore the idea that everything else is out there.
Make it live action. I'm just do something similar. Is what I'm saying.
That's fine. Whatever, however you want to do it, I'm fine. I just like the idea of putting Lobo. You don't even have to put Martian Manhunter in there. It could just be Superman and Lobo.
Lobo.
Right. I think that was a really cool concept of how they handled that, and I think you could have fun with this. Trevon, I just sent you a photo. You put that up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so we got a trailer of a Harley Quinn special coming out next month, and outside of it being pure porn, I did get a lot of laughs from it, and I learned something.
Herogasm should have been.
It's exactly what Herogasm should have been. I will say the one thing I got from this trailer is how toxic Catwoman is. I recall Catwoman saying, "Leave me alone, Bruce. I need to be my own person. You're too stuffy. Enough out of you." And she's dropping this motherfucker chocolates off on Valentine's Day in his cell. That is some toxic ass shit right there.
Bat-shaped chocolates, bro.
Bat-shaped chocolates. That means you went out of your way to find chocolates that represented me. You're toxic. You're a toxic motherfucker, you Catwoman.
You bought those during Halloween and dropped them on Valentine's Day.
I'm just saying, Didge, what I took out of that shit is she's toxic. I love it. I'd love it in my life, but she's toxic, okay? She's toxic. And we got to point this out when we see it. She's toxic.
No, the best part was the best part was Darkseid being in love. Man, he was like,
that was funny.
He was smitten. That's so funny.
I fell in love.
I love this show so much.
Yeah, I mean, and you know it's so funny? I kind of feel like this show is safe because guess who was a cameo last year? James Gunn.
He did retweet the photo here from the Harley Quinn account. He doesn't engage with a lot of DC posts, but he keeps sharing Harley Quinn.
But to be fair to Joel's point, I don't think you're gonna see him. Well, yeah, no. You make a fair point because he could have just not retweeted it. So yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But again, it goes back to as I said before. He kept saying one of the reasons he wanted to do that Suicide Squad movie is because of how much he loves Harley Quinn. So I don't see this show going away anytime soon. I see him maybe trying to be a little bit more hands-on in the producing side of it, maybe. But I don't see the show going. He just loves Harley Quinn. He really does.
Because, for example, let's just for context. the CW had so many trailers released. Like he did not retweet Superman and Lois. That's all.
Yeah. Because he was told this shit's
all
on its way out.
Right.
Don't even worry.
Because those are gone.
Right.
I mean,
that's my point of why this is safe.
Can we be honest? Warner Brothers barely promoted either one of those fucking things. They're kind of just like, you can go out there. We will talk a little bit about that Superman and Lois trailer. We will not talk about that other fucking abomination. That chick
we don't
choke
have
on
to.
its own fucking spit. But we will talk the other show that dropped the trailer for the CW. You know exactly what the hell I'm talking about.
You
Trayvon.
mean The Flash?
No.
What?
You talking about no, we raved about The Flash. What are you talking about? Okay, good. You don't even remember it.
Oh,
no
that.
No, it's no problem. You don't even remember it. So fuck it. Good.
You guys raved about The Flash.
Oh, that's right, Didge. Blind people in CW. Right. Those are on your shit.
Told you. Every CW show lasted 4 seasons longer than it needed to.
I won't say 4. That's excessive. That is excessive.
3. I'm sorry.
Because you got to remember, if you're saying Arrow lasted 4 seasons longer than it should have, Prometheus was one of those seasons, goddammit. And that was arguably its best season.
Fair.
Arguably.
Okay.
Its best season.
Better way to put it. Crisis on Infinite Earth should have ended it. Everything.
Okay.
Should have ended
everything.
Everything.
We can respect that, but 4 seasons too long.
Should have been a bit
relax.
Oh, they weren't going to edit after that.
Damn right they weren't.
Yeah,
Good.
I mean, they should have let everything finish out whatever season they were on when Crisis happened, and just fade into the sunset from there. Just finish out your season.
Fade into the sunset. I love how you word things, Stitch. We're welcoming in Jamie. What's going on, Jamie?
Nothing much. Thank you. It's like I think 3 years old at this point. They have abandoned this design, but in my opinion, is the best one they made. Shout out to the Black Student Movement, UNC. But
I love how you said that. Like, yeah, fuck them. But I like this shit.
I mean, like, it's the truth, man. This was the hardest design they had. I got the next year's one though. You don't see me wearing that one that much. So. That's all. But I'm doing good. Thanks for bringing me on. Absolutely.
So, before we go any further, Jamie, because we're only like 1 or 2 topics and we're getting out of here. I want to go to you for your thoughts on episode 2 of the Last of Us.
Well, Trevon made a tweet, and I feel like I agree with him. Talking about at this point. Which is crazy to think because we're only in 2 episodes, but it's like been 2 hours plus of footage, that we've seen. Mm-hmm. The faithfulness I 100% appreciate, but I'm also like, we kind of need a little something else here because I have experienced this in I believe, a superior form already. So I did see that there are some people within the gaming community that are disabled with like vision impairment or whatever it may have you that are like, you know what, this is the best form of The Last of Us that I will ever get to experience because the remake barely made it playable for me, which, that's very fair. But in terms of like what we're getting right now, I feel like they are playing it too safe and are literally like adapting it 1 for 1. Which I do appreciate the faithfulness, and it's definitely not going to be a bad show because of that, but it's not going to be like, oh my god, like I really loved like Arcane or even like the Cuphead show. Like they expanded on that universe quite a bit. So episode 2 was good. It was kind of slow in my opinion, which at this point, my dad was like, said the first episode was slow. I was like, give them some time. I feel like they've had kind of a bit of time and then still a little bit slow. So like we need to pick it up. And I know things will pick up just based on the events of The Last of Us. But yeah, good episode. Maybe faithful to a flaw, possibly.
I'll slightly disagree with that. And we won't stay here, but I'll slightly disagree with that because to me, I'll never fault someone for giving me all the shit that made it what it was, right? So it's like the shit that got you here, you just giving me that with, albeit changing a few things here and there, expanding a few things here and there. To me, I'll never fault that because to me, I've seen too many people do the opposite, right? to where it's like, bro, you have all this that you can go off of, and you went so far left. Why'd you go so far left? This is nothing like anything it should be, right? So I'm like, I think the closest thing to what you're talking about would be like the and you gave examples, but for me, I'd say for me it's like the MCU, right? To where you're not adapting anything specifically, but because The Last of Us isn't like Crash Bandicoot or Spyro or Sonic, to where it's just a general game. The story's not important. The character is. The Last of Us, the story is what's important. So I'm like, you can't stray too far off of what the actual story is supposed to be, because then you would have people say, well, then that's unfaithful, right? Why even do it if it's not going to be organic, right? So for me, it's like, I appreciate you utilizing the things that make it special. But what I think they can do, to your point, Jamie, and to your point, Trevon, even though, Trevon, you haven't played the game, but to your point, Jamie, what they can do is when you do venture into a season 2, right? Because there's so much, you want to kind of separate season 1 with being game 1 and season 2 being game 2. Season 2, you can open up things a lot more, right? To kind of fill in some of those gaps between game 1 and game 2, right? You don't have to finish everything in season 1. So I think that's when you can get a little bit more creative. But I think the way that you establish the dominance of this show and guarantee it getting a season 2 is that you stay focused on your core audience and allow that audience to expand itself to the world, which it has been, right? So I'm like, to me, I'll never fault someone doing things the right way, even if it seems like it's safe. Because you go too far left, you don't get a chance for a season 2 to fix things. We will bring torches and brimfire, right? So go ahead. I'm sorry. Who was that? Was that you, Mike?
Yeah, I just have a question for you, Jamie.
Yeah.
What would you want them to change, right? Because like The Last of Us considered one of the greatest stories ever told in video games. Mm-hmm. How would you change the recipe at all without pissing people off? Like that's the thing, right? Like the Mario movie can do whatever they want because there's really no story in Mario aside from Peach gets kidnapped. There is so much in The Last of Us, and I feel like we were talking earlier that they did change things in this episode, especially like adding
this episode
new things in like the cold open and the prologue. What are you actually looking for you to have a better experience with it?
You know, that's kind of a difficult question to answer, but I will say that something that I really enjoyed was actually the cold open for this episode and the cold open for the previous episode, which was that new added bit of material, just to give us a little bit more context on what was going on in the world. And so I feel like it's gonna be tough the way that they have this because they're basically going like shot for shot with what happened with the first game. But if I could go back in time and advise them to do something else, I maybe would have tried to focus on some different characters and then bring Joel and Ellie into it, since like The Last of Us is mainly Joel and Ellie's stories, but there's always more characters involved. And so kind of what I was saying a few streams ago, I don't know, I feel like I repeat this every once in a while. But for me, a good video game adaptation is not necessarily just like adapting what I've played like one for one on the screen. I'm still going to like it because, you know, I like the game. But what would be better for me is something that like brings some more context to the game, or I like get to know this character a bit better, or something that's like a different experience, or at least transformative to the point where I can like take these as two different media and be like, you know, like, oh, like this thing helps inform my opinions on like X character in the game, or like because I know this character in the game, I know like this person in the show grew in X ways or whatever. So it's gonna be kind of tough for them to do that. I do like the cold open stuff since it's like adding something that was not necessarily highlighted before or that we had a lot of context for before. But as far as like the way that they're doing it now, I don't know if there's a whole lot that they could do without like actually changing the story, which people probably wouldn't want.
No. And to that point, I will remind you, Jamie, you were not the biggest Uncharted fan. The movie, not the game. You were not the biggest fan.
Yeah.
And
I was
shit, straight away from everything, minus just moments from the games that happen. So that's what happens when you get too cute and too creative, right?
Yeah.
Is that you're not really basing it off of any one narrative. You're just putting a bunch of things together, right?
Yeah.
I think that would have been a lot better if they had casted for the age that we started with Nathan Drake, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just adapted a story that we've gotten from that. I think that would have been a great way to start it, and it would have given you the freedom to expand and kind of get a little bit more creative with the second movie, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a hit or miss. You either do what The Last of Us is doing, or you do what Max Payne did, or you do what Hitman did, or you do what fucking Uncharted did, right? So I'm like, for me, it's such a hit or miss when it comes to trying to adapt video games, because I think to a lot of producers, that's a loose term, right? Adapt. To some producers, they mean just make it, right?
Yeah.
Like, just make it. So that's why it's like, this is an actual full definition of the word. Is The Last of Us. You know what I'm saying?
That's why, like, I would always describe a show like Arcane, right? I wouldn't say Arcane is adapting anything. Arcane is
an interpretation.
Yeah, it's based on League of Legends. It's not really adapting a story from there, because it's really just taking that world and doing its own thing with it. So I honestly feel like they're two different categories at this point.
I mean, that's fair, because we could argue we've not had many true adaptations when it comes to, I mean, Detective Pikachu, but I've never played the game, so I don't even know how much of that was actually like, you know what I'm saying? But
fair.
The feel of that felt like what I assumed Detective Pikachu was, right? And I didn't hear anyone that played it complain about it. So I'm like, you could argue that. But for me, when you're saying adaptation, that's the true definition of it. You're just adapting what had already existed. So to me, I think you could say Arcane is an interpretation of League of whatever it's called. You know what I'm saying? I think you can kind of categorize it like that. Because when you say it's an adaptation and then you go, well, was it just like the game? No, it's nothing like the game. Well, what are you adapting? Like the character? Like, what's the actual adaptation here? And that's why I said, Trevon, Sonic is not
adaptation.
No, because what was accurate about it? What was accurate about it?
What?
It had more things wrong than right, I think.
What point are you making, Trevon?
I missed it.
What point are you making?
Yeah, it's not gonna be exactly like the game, right?
No, but that's our point. Our point is that you. Go ahead, Didge. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I'm just saying to answer Trayvon's point. He said no, it's not an adaptation. That's sort of he's staying in line with what he was saying. Is that more? It was sort of something that was just set in the world. Honestly, it's what I had said. It was what I was saying at the beginning with the you got two fields of adaptation. Do you care more about the characters or the story? And
that was my problem. Is that Halo is purely lore, right? And you ignored the lore. That was my issue. That's why I'm saying I didn't really get what point you were making there, because to me, you were saying it was an adaptation, and the only thing you had to get right was the lore, and you managed to severely fuck that. So that's
Honestly,
what my issue was with
they
Halo.
didn't even have to get the lore right. If they got Master Chief, Cortana, and Halsey right, everything else could have been fine. And as long as there were battles, it was like, that's Halo. That was a Halo show.
Again, if the point you're trying to make, Trevon, so it's not dismissive. So if the point you were trying to make is Halo wasn't an adaptation, so you guys shouldn't look at it like it did something wrong, I'll give you that. But my issue is even you getting creative was a wrong way to go about that show. That's my thing. So we could argue a whole different point now. So I'll give you that. It wasn't an adaptation. You're absolutely right. They've made that very clear, especially the actor that plays Master Chief. It's not an adaptation, right?
So, this is a fascinating topic, but we're only 2 episodes in. Let's revisit this after episode 3.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Mike, let's actually revisit those feelings, Jamie, when the season's over, because they might change a lot of how this season ends as opposed to how the game went about certain things, right?
Yeah.
So, because remember, there's a lot of this that they have to expand. Because remember, what did Joel say? Joel said this from the jump. When you watch the cutscenes, it's just 3 hours. This is obviously going to be way longer than that. So it's like there are going to be things that are different. It's just I think the thing might be, Jamie, is that they're hitting all the important things, right? So it feels like it's beat for beat. Not really. They're just hitting all the important things that come from the game. I think there will be a lot of fundamental things that might be different down the line. You know what I'm saying?
In this episode, they end up in the same spot they do in the game, but how they get there is vastly different.
Yeah, I didn't recognize it when I told you while I was watching. I'm like, I don't even know. I couldn't tell where I was at in the story. I was like, wait a minute, I just watched this. I was like, so this is all new. So the beginning was all new.
So I will say, Jamie, that it could veer more towards what you want, to where it spices it up a little bit, right? So you're not just like, I literally played this beat for beat. It changes it up a little bit, and I think it will. I think it honestly will. But I think, to me, when he was kind of telling us about this show, he was making it very clear it's for us, the people that played the game, right? So it's like, I kind of feel like he's holding his end of the deal. It very much seems like if you played the game, you're feeling all of this all over again, right?
I also think it's for people who haven't played the game.
I was about to say, because you don't know what you're missing or what they're doing accurate or not. It's just a good show.
It's a good story.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a good show. Right.
Yeah, that's what I feel like it's honestly probably more suited for people who haven't played the game, because they don't know what's coming and they don't know when characters are going to die and like all this extra stuff. So it's like
what's what, when, how. Right. They don't know. There's a lot of shit coming that people have no idea what's coming.
Right. So experiencing it for the first time, I think it's totally okay. It's kind of like being a manga reader watching an anime, right? Where it's like, yeah, I know what's going to happen in Attack on Titan because I've read.
But they're going to switch it up a little bit.
A little bit, but honestly, they keep it faithful because they know people aren't going to necessarily always read the manga, so they want them to experience that story. I feel like this is kind of the same way. The people who can never own a PlayStation or are not into video games, they want them to experience this story. And so it's going to have minimal changes. And unfortunately, some people they're not gonna jive with it if they already played the game, but I feel like it's probably more geared to people who haven't, because we also saw the sale of The Last of Us go up like 500% this last week because of the show, and they're getting into the game now.
So I think what we learned today is that when studios make these movies, maybe don't use the word adaptation.
Attack on Titan is never going to end.
I know.
They're just going to keep remixing that shit. Yeah, it'll never end.
Like I said before, though,
ahead, Jamie.
I'm not saying that this episode by any means was bad or anything, or I think the show is trash. I'm just like, I would like to
those
see
were Trevon's words.
Yeah, I never said that word. I've only seen like the first 15 minutes of the second episode. So.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry, Jamie. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Cold open was awesome.
You said who?
The cold open was awesome. I love that.
Oh, I thought you said Coda. I was about to say, you're making up people? Who the fuck is Coda? Okay, I'm sorry.
I love that movie.
Who's Coda? I'm like, when did Coda pop into this shit? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jamie. Go ahead.
That was pretty much it. I think it's good. I would like to see a little bit more variation. If they don't do that, then I still think they had great material to work with. They're not going to make anything bad, but it'll be like a little boring for me, I guess, just because I know everything. But
that's fair.
Comes with the territory.
Sure does. I mean, hey, you should enjoy that, because there's nothing more stressful than watching the MCU and going, "Oh, they're adapting it." I don't know where the fuck you're going.
Yeah,
what is happening here? What is any of this? What am I looking at?
My experience with Thor: Love and Thunder probably helped shape my perspective with this.
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
I would have loved to see you guys adapt Thor.
I thought you were gonna make a homework. Joanne, I thought you were about to make a homework joke for Mike.
No. I don't have any more homework jokes for Mike. Even though Mike, I mean, I could, but no. I completely agree with Mike 100%, because watching that movie was probably the most frustrated I've ever been in my time in the MCU, because it's like, no. This is the one time I can say, no, I definitively read this comic, right? This comic series, right? Or this comic run. I know what to expect. And I was looking for all these things to expect. But Jamie, they started well before the movie came out. When I saw the fucking toy and what Gore the God Butcher was going to look like, I said, oh, Lord, no. Oh, God, no. No, but at least I'll get the story right. And then I left that movie going, no. I don't know what this was, but okay.
You know what's sad about my Thor: Love and Thunder experience? me and my friends went to this movie theater where there's like only a few of them in the world, I think, that has like these light beams all around the theater. So like when you're in a desert, the whole like theater lights up like you're in the desert or something. So it's supposed to be like an experiential thing. And we saw that film. I think it did enhance it in some ways because like, oh damn, it's almost like I'm there. But I'm like, shit, I don't want to be here though. So it was tough.
God bless you, Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I think studios should just be clear about their version of adaptation, because there's a true definition, and then there's what they choose to do, and I think they should distinguish that there's a difference. You know, so our expectations are lowered, right? So when we go into Venom and they're like, "Hey, we're adapting Venom," and it's like, no.
MCU adapted or Last
It's
of Us
cute.
adapted?
It's cute. Well, I don't think the MCU has adapted much. I think they've taken stories and just very loosely used them.
Well,
Yeah, no,
based
I'd prefer if the
Based or
MCU did
adapted.
more of The
Based
Last
or
of Us for some of these projects. If I'm being
Well,
honest with you, I'd prefer.
It's not black and white though. Like there are sometimes, like again, going back to Sonic is not a one-to-one adaptation of anything.
Right.
But we still love those movies. Like they're still really great. And even back to the Arcane argument, Arcane is still a fantastic show. There's just two different ways to go about it. Sometimes a one-to-one adaptation doesn't work. Sometimes having a loose adaptation works very well. It just depends on how you handle it and who is approaching it, right? By The Last of Us being created by somebody who loves the games and Craig Mazin, and the actual co-creator of The Last of Us, Neil Druckmann, it's going to be extremely faithful.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a flaw. And I think that's why people are using the term like it's the best adaptation, because like Juwan is saying, one-to-one, it is the best so far of taking a video game and doing it. Whereas all these other great ones, like Cyberpunk, they're doing their own thing in that world, which is equally great. It's just not one-to-one like The Last of Us.
Right. I think the only time I've ever felt like the MCU has been close to one-to-one adaptation is probably Infinity War. Is where I was kind of just like, you did as much as you could, right? And I respected you for doing as much as you actually could.
See,
from that run.
That's another case though, where it's like Infinity War. I love that movie. You can't adapt Infinity Gauntlet, right? Like,
oh no, that's
Thanos
what I'm saying.
a simp for death
as much as
does not work.
I still think you could have tried.
To watch.
You could have tried.
Fun to watch.
I think you could have tried it, because you could have easily replaced the minions with just Lady Death, right? And it's him just trying to impress her, like, "Hey, I killed Thor. No, that's not enough. What else do you want me to do? You want me to kill everybody? Fuck it. All right, I'll kill everybody." Like, that would have been entertaining for me. I would have enjoyed that very much. You know what I'm saying?
I just knew it was going to be hella, honestly.
Say it again, Trevon.
I just knew it was going to be hella.
Well, that's what everyone assumed, because, you know, no one expected you to bring in Cate Blanchett and just go, "All right, we're done with you." No, go home. That's it. Go.
Yeah. One off.
I didn't expect that at all. So, yeah, I think a lot of people expected when that character died, it would be the manifestation of death. But, you know, whatever. So for me, like I said, I'm very much enjoying a lot of the mediums we're getting. It's just a definition is a definition, right? Like, there's no way around it. Definition is a definition. You either do it or you don't. But if you don't, it can still be good.
Oh, okay. Last point, actually. I just thought I'm sorry to be extending this conversation.
You're good.
But,
no, you're good. Go ahead.
I thought of so I don't know if you guys have seen the Nier Automata anime, which unfortunately has been postponed. But those first 3 episodes. I'm not doing it. I'm not. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not. Okay.
Go ahead. I did not get a chance to start that yet, and I'm not gonna
sweat. I'm not gonna sweat.
Okay.
But
ready, man.
Fuck that. No.
I was just gonna say, like, the first episode very faithfully adapts like the first chapter of the game. Like, literally, the first chapter of the game is the only part that I've played through so far, and I'm like, I literally remember doing this like it was yesterday. And then the next episode, it spans more on like the world and gives you more context as to what's going on and like these little robot creatures that are running around. And then like the third episode kind of gets back into the main story, and is showing us like kind of like where we're going next as far as the journey is concerned. Like, I would have loved to see The Last of Us do something a little bit like that, to where it's not everything is like structured the same way as the game, and we can still have that context. Which, like I was saying, I think the cold opening stuff that they're doing is really interesting, and it's great for like the world building part of it. We're not saying that they won't do that in the future, because we obviously don't know, but that's something I would like to see. It's just like you can still be faithful while also like mixing it up a little bit.
I don't know if you saw the preview for the next episode.
No, I don't watch previews anymore. They spoil too much.
I rarely do, but this one, obviously, this next episode might be completely different.
Okay. I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I still like it, though. I still like the show. This one.
No, it's okay. We put you in the same box as Trevon. It's okay.
How would y'all feel if this stretched for like 5 seasons?
Would you say, Trevon?
If this stretched the first game for like 5 seasons.
No, why? No,
that's not.
I'm just
asking. Honestly,
that's a
The
lot.
Last of Us is too short.
Yes,
that would be The Walking Dead at that point. I feel like.
Yeah, that's excessive. Walking Dead. Yeah, that's excessive.
I got tired of The Walking Dead, so I'd be upset.
I'm just saying. Like,
talk about something that did 4 seasons ago.
I feel like,
and
me and Mike talked about this at some point. I don't know. All the timelines are mixing together. But like first season, they adapt. Maybe. But like the first season, they adapt the first game, and then the second season, instead of just going straight into the second game, like maybe there's like a period in between where we get to see just like Joel and Ellie like living their lives, and actually get to feel the weight of Joel's decision, which I will not spoil. But he decides to do something, and Ellie's mad at him for it. So like really exploring like that relationship and how it kind of changes, because in the second game you see that, but you don't spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah, like 2 years.
Yeah.
So small things like that is how you can maybe try to fill in some of that time, show wise.
So for the big fans out there are comic books for The Last of Us, that spun out of the first game. And so they can even take some storylines from that to fill in the gaps, to fill in the holes here and there. So I feel like if they're trying to extend it, you do season 1, the first game. Season 2, like the second game is so big and it's got so many moving parts. Right. That might be 2 seasons by itself, just adapting the second game. So I'd say season 1, first game. Season 2, you can do an original story.
That's gonna be
within that time. Yes,
you're gonna be like you.
And then season 3 and 4, you can do The Last of Us Part 2, and maybe by that point, The Last of Us 3 will be out.
Hopefully,
and they can get that.
And then you'll get that going. Yeah. All right. I want to end this on 2 things. I want to end this on Movie Corner. Me and Joel want to talk about a movie we saw this Sunday. In TV Corner for Trevon to talk a little bit about what is it?
Which one? Mayfair Family?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. That was a creative way to fuck up that name, but I couldn't think of anything quick enough.
Don't disrespect Alexandra Daddario like that.
God damn, her eyes. I don't know what it is about her eyes, but I swear I'd be like, I'd kill for you. I know. I just know. I know I would. I really know. It wouldn't even take that much convincing. Just, hey, kill him. All right, bet. Fuck it.
It's done. Hypnotic, bro. I totally get it.
Done. I'm watching the show and I'm just like, am I a witch? What is she doing to me? What the fuck? Anyway. All right. So Movie Corner, me and Joel went and checked out. It's missing, right, Joel? You confused me now because I watched Searching earlier.
I just
so now confused myself.
This morning.
What?
Non-spoiler, right?
No, we're not spoiling it. No. It literally just came out. Yeah, no way we're spoiling it. It just came out.
This person gets this.
No, I'm just glad that movie's out because she's been in my like YouTube ads for so long. Like, don't pause, don't skip this ad. My mother's missing, and I'm just like, I hate this ad campaign. So
Did you skip it? Did you skip that ad?
I end up skipping it because I realized it's the freaking movie, and I'm like,
that's what's wrong.
So much.
That's what's wrong with us, bro. She needed help, and you just skipped right over it. You fucking make me sick.
I don't know. You watch the
here's
movie.
the thing, though. If you really need help, are you gonna buy an ad? Are you gonna buy an ad on
you
YouTube?
do whatever you gotta do. Yes, Mike, you're disrespectful. Yeah, today's world they would, of course. You serious? Come on now.
Whatever.
Non-spoiler.
I almost started a fucking GoFundMe for my PlayStation 5. Anyway, this movie I thought was very well done. I was a massive fan of Searching. I thought John should have been nominated for that. I thought he did a phenomenal job in that movie. I quickly found out I was very alone. And my thoughts on that, it was just crickets when I said that when it came out. Everyone was just like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't even know what you're talking about. To be honest.
It's a good
Watch
movie.
Searching.
You should see Searching.
It's really good.
Just connected dots from Searching and Missing. Not important. Like if you didn't see it, you'll miss out on something.
It doesn't connect like that.
It's just fun, right? It's just fun. It's kind of more so like Ash showing up at the end of Evil Dead, right? To where it's like it's not connected, but it's just good to see him, right? It's good to see him, right?
I mean, you look at it, looks the same, like almost the same.
It's similar.
No, it is the same. Yeah, it is shot the same. But yeah, I thought Missing was so well done, and I'll say this: I think I can officially classify this universe as a whodunit. And goddamn, they're not Knives Out good. Calm down, Mike. I saw Mike already ready to cancel me. It's not Knives Out quality, but it's whatever is shit. She better be happy she get the 10 seconds out of me. DJ Vinny, I hate you and love you at the same time. But I would say it's a tier below it, right? So I've been very adamant, Joel can speak to this, that whodunit movies, I believe, are almost impossible to make. Because I feel as though there's like maybe 3 of them that I think are actually like really like, holy fuck, you had me everywhere. So I got Knives Out 2, Searching, and Missing. I could not solve that shit. I don't remember Clue.
Which one?
No argument here. I just don't remember it.
Clue had
I saw it so long ago. It also did have that, right? Can't wait to see what Ryan Reynolds does with that. But anyway,
that sounds gonna be good.
Ryan Reynolds and Jason Bateman, they're gonna make that.
I know, and I love Clue too. Anyway,
but for me, to me, it's really good when like I think I got it right. Like when I get halfway through it, I'm like, that motherfucker right there did it. Done. Time to go. And then they're just like, oh, well, they're dead. And you're like, whoa, what? No.
Yeah.
Missing had me and Joel like that for at least the entire
I was at the top of my seat, just like they had me. I was grabbed. I was like, okay, like now I'm curious where this is going because this shit got crazy. But by the time you get to the end of the movie, you're like, oh, this is insane.
100%. And look, the daughter turned into Barbara Gordon because goddamn, was she on her detective shit?
Oh, she was good.
I was just like, God damn, Batman, all right, do your thing. God, I did tell Joel. Go ahead, Joel.
If you compare the second to the first, you can see the difference in knowledge of technology.
Yes, 100%.
The adult, 100%. It was hysterical, the obvious difference.
Right. No, there were numerous times I kept leaning over telling Joel, like, bro, how the fuck does Batman do this shit? Like, this shit is not easy. I can't crack this at all. I don't know who the fuck did this shit. Like, he makes it look so easy. How the fuck does he keep doing this? But I do. That's really what it is. I do want to ask you, Joel, before we wrap this up, what do you prefer, the first one or the second one? Now that you've seen both.
Oh, I don't know. That's tough. They're both really, really good. Damn, and they're both crazy as fuck. Like once you get to once you find out what happens, you're like, what the?
Yes,
that's insane.
I think I'll say this while you think for a second. I think the first one blew my mind more than the second one. The second one, we even agreed when we left, was kind of just like,
when you think about
really makes sense.
The motivation, you're like, well,
the motivations were like,
it's weird.
Yeah, you're really weird for that. But the first one was more so just like, makes sense.
You don't question that one.
Yeah, that one's kind of just like, you dirty motherfucker. That makes sense though. I like it. I like it. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, Trevon, I definitely suggest you go see it. Because I know that was definitely something you wanted to see. Yeah, I tricked Joel into go. He's like, I already got the tickets. We got to go. Like, we're going. And it was just like, all right, cool. And you had fun. It was good, right?
It was good.
I do suggest you guys go see Missing. It is a really good movie. Everyone plays a very great role.
You understand that it's not filmed like a normal movie.
Oh, right. Yeah. Don't shit talk like, I don't like how they filmed it. Well, that was on purpose, right? Like, it was on purpose to be done like that.
You're seeing everything through a camera.
Right.
No matter what camera, it's a different type of,
One thing, and this is not a spoiler at all, so don't worry, but one thing me and Joel learned coming out of this movie is there are cameras in places I didn't even fucking know there were cameras.
Oh, yeah.
That was a little terrifying. That was a little terrifying.
That's why
the live feeds are crazy. I didn't know that.
That's why people like complain about microphones. I'm like, it's in everything. Like
everything.
Embrace it. Like, you ain't get away from it.
Everything.
I put a Google Home in my house. You got one phone, computer.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, that scared the fuck out of me. Let's bring this up real quick. Actually, let's talk a little bit about a few things really quick for Trevon ends this on show. Megan, by the way, if you guys have not seen Aubrey Plaza as Megan on Saturday Night Live, I suggest you do so. That's probably the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
You had me at Aubrey Plaza, honestly.
Yeah, and she's full blonde now. Did you know that, Mike?
There. So y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, she's full blonde, and a lot of people are speculating it's for her role in Agatha. So it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. But no, I am very glad Megan is getting a sequel. I was excited for this movie. The movie lived up to my excitement. It actually blew my excitement out of the water. I need as many Megan movies as we fucking had Chucky movies. I think it's only fair. If I got to sit through those horrible ass Chucky movies, I can get some good ass Megan movies. That's all I'm asking for. Terminator meets Chucky. Can't give me a better premise for a movie than that. Beautiful. I'm happy. Joel, you saw the movie. Are you excited it's getting a part 2?
I'm very curious where it goes now. Yeah, for sure. Because that movie's fucking nuts too. I laughed so hard. That movie.
It's so funny, bro.
It's not a typical horror movie.
Bro, my aunt asked me, she's like, well, how scary was it? I said, well, if you're going by our theater, we laughed the entire movie. So I'm going to go ahead and say at a 0.
And that's not a bad thing. Like, I enjoyed
not at all.
Barbarian, I laughed a lot during Barbarian too.
Well, that wasn't because it was funny. That was just because that was the only emotion we could give because we had no idea what the fuck was happening.
I was reacting to the movie that was presented in front
of me. What is this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is going on here? I thought this shit was a slasher. What is happening here?
That was crazy too.
Yeah, no, Megan, to me, I had such a fun time with that. I don't know. If you want to get cute with it, I know they're bringing back everybody. Shit, I don't know. Make the AI black. Morgana or some shit.
I wonder what they're going to do if they get a threequel. Like, what are they going to do for the third one?
I don't know. That's why you got to race change it, right? Make the second one black, the third one Hispanic.
Oh, no, I'm talking about for the title. Like, they already have the 3 in for the game. What do you do for the title?
Yeah, 2.0. Yeah, like Joel said. Yeah, 2.0, 3.0. Yeah, it's right there. Come on, Didge. It's an AI. Come on.
The title.
Come on, Didge. Come on. Solves itself. How dare you? Who else saw Megan? Trevon, Jamie,
I liked it.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
You liked it?
I haven't. I have not.
Okay, so you.
The trailers look interesting though.
It's a fun ass time. I can tell you that. So Didge and Trevon, you guys excited for there being another one, or was it kind of just like,
Megan?
No, I'd watch a second one.
I don't understand.
I'd easily watch a second one.
What do you mean you don't understand the second one?
I'll watch it, but the way this one ended is like,
yeah.
Okay.
Like,
hold on, time out. No. Hold on, because I'm glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. Let me clear this up.
What happened at the end? Yes.
No. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because my aunt asked the same thing when I came home and told her how it ended. Right. So let me tell you why. You don't have to give much thought. You ready? Chucky dies in every fucking movie. Every movie, like clockwork.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, well, I mean, no, just rebuild it, I guess. I don't know. It's just fucking Tony Stark in this universe. I don't know.
I question the same thing.
Man, it's Ultron.
It's over. Do I need to see more? But if they have they can explain it cleverly, like in a clever way, I'll take
they can do it cleverly.
It's not for me to figure out. I'm not trying to figure out why. Just
White Megan, just like Vision.
All I'm saying is, if Chucky can spout some fucking spell and just transfer it to a different body, it's not hard for an AI to do the same thing. We just we understand that, right? Chucky says a little boom, 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 and then just transforms into another body.
If anybody found out if that an AI that powerful, because that bitch was crazy.
I would love to see her fight Vision. I would love to see that shit.
I'm just saying, like something like that, bad people would want their hands on something.
100%. Dr. Robotnik, whatever. There's plenty of people. Plenty of
Make her transfer to like a dancing Elmo or something.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'll never see it coming.
To be fair, that's what she was in that hallway scene. Was someone hit a button or some shit?
A Dr. Wiley thing, in my opinion.
Yes, that's fair. That's fair. Or bring what's his name? Nope, I'm gonna leave that there. All right. We also last thing movie wise, we also got a trailer for Scream 6. I do not believe we talked about it. I cannot wait. I really thought Scream 5 was a perfect love letter to what this universe should have been before, where you can have fun, but it is supposed to be taken seriously. I do know the whole premise of creating it was to be a parody on horror movies at the time. I completely get it. But Scream 5 was such a beautiful way to venture into a new world for Scream. It's so much so, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I know this might be blasphemy. I kind of don't want Sydney to come back. I kind of like the idea of it. It just moved on, right? It just moved on. No. She's just not in this one. We have no idea if they'll circle back around and try to put her in the in the next one. Unless this movie comes out and they're like, no, Sydney died. I believe she might be back someday. I don't want her to come back. Keep it away. Let's move on to a new generation of this.
I mean, you can't able to say that when Gail is still in it. Like you can't,
but like you do know
bringing characters back.
No, I get you, but you do know the whole premise of Scream was Sydney. You've moved on from Sydney to this new girl. You can still have familiar faces. It's in this. Some of it was taken. Well, obviously not this one, but the last one took place in the same town. So I'm like, yes, I expect to see familiar faces. I'm just saying, I want you to move on from Sydney being the focus. I want you to we're in a new era.
Well, I mean, that's fine. She wasn't the focus last time either. I mean, but
kind of was. But for me, I love this trailer. I believe I don't care what anyone says. I believe that whoever is Ghostface had Tim's on in that train station. I believe if you want to be authentic, he had to have. He's in New York City. You know what I'm saying? There has to be Tim's there. There just has to.
I'm very intrigued by the mask, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. When in Rome, you have to have Tim's on. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't even have to be black. He just has to have Tim's on. The authenticity needs to be there, is all I'm saying. But I thought this was a great trailer. I don't know how they're going to do that train scene. That shit kind of caught me off guard a little bit. Where they're all standing together and then he just chokes out the one girl. Seems to be in the middle of them.
I'm on the train already, so.
No. I know how it snuck up on her. I'm saying they're all together, huddled together. Fuck, they separate you. But I loved it. I loved it. I kind of feel like we saw what happened to a major character in the last one.
Yeah.
Kind of feel like Courtney Cox is.
They're gonna slowly get rid of the
old people. Right. It's on her last legs here. But yeah, I love that trailer, and I cannot wait for March to hurry up and fucking get here so I can see that movie, man. I'm very excited. Trevon, you sound excited.
Oh, I'm very excited to see. But as soon as I saw the mask, I was like, wait, why does that mask look like that? That was enough for me.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm here just for that. I was like, what is that? What does that mean? So that was it. Like, I love the characters and everything. But once I saw that mask, I was like, what the hell is this? And then the shrine, I saw, hell yeah. I don't know what the hell going on, but I need to know. So yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, and non-narratively, you put Jen Ortega and Hayden Panettiere in the same movie. It's just like, I mean, you had my money the first time, but that I might buy 2 tickets to see it back to back. You know what I'm saying?
The horror movies
like,
I don't mind seeing.
Come on. The what?
These are horror movies I don't mind seeing.
I thought you said these are the horrors and movies I did not
What is wrong with you, man?
What is Trevon saying? What are you doing? No, you
can't say that about them anyway. I mean, they're pretty.
That's what I was about to say. Like, goddamn, you don't know them personally. What is wrong with you? Okay, all right, Didge, get us off of this. Trevon has gotten us in messy territory.
That was not his fault. That was all you, man.
Oh, well, hey.
As soon as I saw you ask him what he said, I knew exactly what you heard. I knew exactly. I was like, that's not what he said, though.
Hey, the audience doesn't lie. Trevon, chill. All right? Fuck you doing, man? You can't be doing that here.
I was just talking about the men, not the women. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, the men be some whores. Yeah, I agree there. Didge, you excited for Scream 6?
Yeah.
I don't like that. You took a deep breath. I didn't like that. You took a deep breath. I don't like that. We're gonna skip over you.
Well, I haven't seen the trailer, so I'm excited on principle because I like the Scream franchise, but I actually haven't seen the trailer yet. So,
did you like 5?
Yeah, I like the. That's what I said. I like the Scream franchise, so I'm excited on principle, but I can't give any specifics because I just didn't watch the trailer.
I got you.
Forgot it was.
But
out.
You didn't like Scream 4 though, right?
It wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, it was the worst fucking thing to happen. Yeah,
okay, hold on.
It was the worst fucking thing.
Yeah,
it
was cool. It wasn't my favorite.
The coolest thing they did in that movie was giving me Hayden Panettiere at the height of Hayden Panettiere. That was it. There was nothing else that they did for me in that movie. That was it. That was the only thing. Nothing else.
You like Hayden Panettiere, so there's that.
Oh, I do. I really do. I watch Heroes or whatever the fuck that show was called just for her. I couldn't even tell you what the show was about. Couldn't even tell you.
Heroes was great.
No.
Nashville was pretty.
I know what her character was about. I don't know anything else. I don't remember anything else. That was
don't disrespect Heroes.
Man, fuck
Save
that
the
shit.
Cheerleader, Save the World was.
Hey, you think I wasn't trying to save the cheerleader? Each week I was in there trying to save her. You fucking serious? Jamie, tell us why you're hating on Jen Ortega. No, I'm sure. You excited for Scream 6?
I saw the trailer actually a few hours ago. And I'm like, oh, okay, this looks kind of interesting. Looks kind of fun. So,
did you cry?
I did not cry. I might have to watch it again. I don't know. Did I miss something?
One thing.
I did not cry.
Trevon clearly needs to go to bed now, guys.
I'm so fucking tired. You have no idea. Go ahead, Jamie. I'm sorry.
I don't think I've actually seen any of the Scream movies? Question mark. I've definitely seen like the parody movies or like parodying Scream, but I don't think I've seen the Scream movies.
Really?
You know what's so upsetting? You know what's so upsetting? You know how many people I've said, "Hey, did you see the Scream 6 trailer?" And they're like, "No. Didn't that come out like a long time ago?" I'm like, "Bitch, the trailer just dropped." I'm like, "Oh no. Are you thinking scary movie?" And they're like, "Yeah, I like that." No. Not the same thing. Not the same thing. One is better than the other. Albeit, Scary Movie 1 and 2
are awesome.
Might be some of the greatest comedy I've ever seen in my life. The doorbell, or no, what was it? The knocker being balls and him keep knocking it. Bro, that shit was classic. Fucking classic. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jimmy.
See, but to defend myself, I didn't start watching scary stuff until like maybe the past like 4 or 5 years, I guess. And okay, listen, hold on, don't make a face, and even at that point, it's like maybe one movie a year or something. So I'm playing catch up because I'm not ingrained in all that. All right, I am a Christian woman. We don't believe in all that, but I'm opening my mind and opening my heart to new media.
I'd be willing to say most of us here are Christian, so I like how you just kind of said, well, y'all are heathens. I'm the Christian because I don't watch that
didn't
shit.
say that.
I appreciate that.
If even
You all practice in different ways.
And Jen Ortega, I'll take it.
I mean, Mike, I didn't want to say it because my God's an awesome God, but you damn right. You damn right. I'll be a heathen motherfucker to see some Jen Ortega. But Joel, you did cry sitting next to me watching this trailer in the theater. So are you excited for Scream 6?
Yes.
Because sometimes y'all be saying things that be taking me the fuck out. So those faces are genuine. Those are not me trying to be funny. I'd be really like, what the fuck? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Man, I'm trying my best.
You are. God bless you.
I'm not as big a fan of the Scream franchise. I like the first one. I like the second one, but I don't really care for anything else after that. And then the last one I did enjoy, actually, the fifth one, right? That wasn't bad. So I'm like, that's cool. I was not looking forward to a sixth one. I'm like, what else? Like, I don't care. But I like that it's not in the same fucking place. It's in New York City. It started out in like the subway scene. I'm like, that's cool. This is different. Like, you want to be different? This is different. It's always to me in the same fucking area. I'm like, I don't care. But this looks different. This is like they're switching up the what they've been doing, and I like that now. Like, I'm a little more intrigued. Even the poster looks really cool. Like, I've seen several like really cool Scream posters since this came out.
I like the one where it's like it looks like the train. Yeah, the subway station. Yeah, I thought that was really
Yeah, I'm not super excited, but I'm more excited than I was for damn sure.
So Joel, will you find this movie to be even remotely good if whoever's Ghostface doesn't sound like Pete because it's in New York? Will you find it to be?
If he's from New York, we don't even know he's from New York.
We have to assume so, right?
No, you don't have to assume so.
What? No, I can put those pieces together. Damn.
Do you find out who Ghostface is at any point? Do you find out?
Yeah,
who he is?
everyone in the movie.
Every episode.
Jamie. Scream is like Scooby-Doo. That's what Scream is like.
And we love it.
It's like Scooby-Doo. There you go.
I wasn't sure if it was like that or if it was like Halloween, where it's just a dude out there killing people.
And it's always those damn kids.
It's like Scooby-Doo. Yeah, it's because of those damn kids each time.
Got away with it too.
What is for that pesky ass Sydney?
But he's really killing.
Okay.
No. He's super killing. He's going full John Wick in this shit. He pulling out blickies and whatnot. Yeah, he going full John Wick.
I wouldn't go that far.
He was doing like jujitsu and shit. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jamie. Go ahead.
I was in a media production class, and my teacher showed the first. I think it's like 10 minutes or so of like the first Scream with Drew Barrymore, because she was like, you see how they like, set up the tension, the camera angles and all of that. And that scared the shit out of me. Like, I don't know if I need any of that. So, now that I'm a different person now, maybe I'll go back and look at it.
Go watch Scream.
We talked about Scream in one of my classes too when I was in college. Yeah. It was in my marketing class. We was talking about how you use marketing and then you subvert it, because
Drew Barrymore,
she doesn't last very far now.
Right. No, she sure don't. She sure doesn't.
Nowadays,
if you remember the trailer, if you remember the advertising, you would have thought she was the final girl.
No, but that was the perfect way to sell it, because there were very few women at that time that were bigger names than Drew Barrymore, right? Yeah, so you put Drew Barrymore in there, and you're like, perfect. And it was like,
that was what we were talking about in our marketing class. It was all about subverting expectations.
Right.
Yep.
I'm with you.
But they might could get sued for it. Yep. They might could get sued for it.
Can we go back in time and sue them for that?
Trevon, wait. Before we end this out, would you really have sued them?
For what?
For making it seem like Drew Barrymore was the final girl and she died.
Oh, already. I have a concrete case. I feel like for Big Sky. So if you don't know what that show is, Ryan Phillippe.
I know
Ryan Phillippe was very much promoted that damn show, and he was gone in the first kind of episode. I said, bullshit. I watched it for him. I was like, what do you mean? Like that, I felt very cheated. I really did. I
will tell you, Trevon, now that they've made this law, you know what you're going to start doing, right? You're going to start becoming the deterrent of what you say you want most. You're going to start stifling creativity. That's how a lot of people decide they want to be creative. They pull you in with the person you think is going to be, right, what the movie's about, and then they swerve, and then it's about something else. Trevon gonna fuck around and make directors and writers go, no, you can't put that in. What? Trevon has sued like the last 4 studios. You can't put that shit in there. Just whoever's the actual person, just fucking put them on the poster.
If I could win some money, I might really do it.
I believe you would. There's no one here that thinks you're lying, Trevon.
I mean,
there's no one here that thinks you're joking. Right
I'm
now.
with them, honestly.
I have to look and see what the law actually says, because like I don't think it's not like you can't do like a switch up. It's like you can't just straight up lie like the Hulk's in the movie and then he's not in the movie. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's where the line.
You know what? No. You know what they should be able to do? They should be able to hold you guys to that shit. So if you sue them and you win, right, and the real trailer comes out, they should be able to put at the end of that trailer, fucked up by Trevon. So we know why we're seeing the reality of this shit in the trailer instead of them hiding it.
I mean, to be honest, by the time the court proceeding goes through, the movie probably out already. It's like it don't even matter. It was just a.
We'll know to come look for you. That's my point.
It goes back to what the original case was about, though, right? Like they were mad at the movie because they cut Ana de Armas' scene. Yeah, they cut her scene. But that wasn't, to lie. It's just in the editing process, the scene she was
just decided it wasn't needed, right? Yeah.
And so it's
that's
like
how small a role she had in this.
Right.
Yeah, but she was. That's why they kept it in there.
That's why they used her for marketing. Yeah.
Right. And to me, the Bruce Banner one made sense because picture if you were trying to showcase Bruce in Stark's armor instead of just being the Hulk. You very much would have looked at that like, what the fuck is happening in this movie?
Just like, not showed him running though, and in Wakanda. Like,
but if they didn't show him running, they would have had to taken him out, and that would have been false because he was in that.
Just don't show him at all. Like that's all.
I'm pretty sure like that scene didn't even happen anyway.
It did
in the movie. Like it's a different version of that.
A version of it did.
They were never running together like that.
It don't matter.
No, they were at one point. It just wasn't exactly like that. It wasn't exactly like that. But yes, I'm with Joel. But I'm also with Mike and Trevon. Let's sue these motherfuckers. Anyway, all right, Trevon. End this out on the Mayflower of Snitches, the trial of Young Thug. Let us know what this newest episode is about.
Well, the show is supposed to call Mayfair Witches.
Oh shit! Sorry, my bad. I thought it was the trial of Young Thug. I'm sorry.
It's not
the
much,
weirdest running gag we had.
Not much witching in it yet. What can I say about this show?
What episode are you on?
Just 2. It's only 2. It's only been 3. I'm sorry. It's only been 3.
I'm about to say, I saw
it's only been 3. Sorry. Yeah, it's only been 3. Sorry. So episode 3. I'm sorry, Joel. I haven't seen episode 2. I'm sorry. I haven't seen episode 3. So technically, I'm still on 2. So 3. Sorry, Trevon.
I just saw 3.
So far, the show is about a family that is attached to this demon or something, and he is trying to
really explain that
succeed at whatever he makes succeed or whatever he's trying to do. I'm not. It ain't got me yet. It ain't. It's just. It's. I'm having a hard time. I'm like.
It feels like it already.
Look, I'm gonna be real with you. Thanks to Trevon and Joel's recommendation, I started Interview with a Vampire. And I'm gonna be real with you. I'm only not liking Mayfair Witches so far because it ain't as sexy as Interview with a Vampire.
It's not. See, Interview with a Vampire. It told you what it was, and it delivered in the first episode.
It lived up to it. It was sexy as fuck, bloody as fuck, great as fuck.
And this is why when I watched that, I'm thinking, oh, it's another one of her series. So you think it's gonna be like that, like. We're gonna get with the shit.
That's good, right?
These first 3 episodes, I think I got one spell.
Yeah, we ain't witching or bitching. Nah.
And it's not even them doing something. I don't want to spoil what they do. But it's
Didge said spoil it because he don't give a fuck. Didge said spoil it. He don't give a fuck.
Like they attach to a demon.
I probably watch it regardless.
All they do is control a demon.
Didge is like, wait a minute.
Demon. They control the demon to do things. I'm like. That's not witches. Like you're not doing anything. There's no abilities. There's no.
She don't know she's a witch. Not
No,
to
I'm talking about the mom though. Like,
but she was like catatonic for like the first episode and the second. I don't want to spoil again. I'm like, I don't want to go out
when
spoilers.
she's not, she does something. I'm just like, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. All right.
Yeah, Trevon's not wrong because I've only seen the first episode so far of Interview with a Vampire, but it lives up to vampires, right? Like right away. It does not lead you on for 3-4 episodes. Vampire shit right away, right? I still don't know what the witching is of this shit. Like, what can you do? Ain't no broomsticks. Fucking Selena Gomez ain't on Wizardly Place. Like, there ain't no fucking witching in this shit. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what it is. That's my issue. Yes, it's like a haunted house. Right? Yes.
It's like there's like this demon or whatever the fuck he is that wants that. We
don't even know that. We don't even know if the motherfucker's a demon. We don't even know.
They said something in this third episode that was a little bit interesting. I'm like, okay, I understand maybe where he's going,
right?
But it's like, can we get to that? Like, get to that, please. Like,
that one dude has powers. The black dude.
See, you would have sued me. You would have sued me.
You said Selena Gomez, and you almost had me turn the show on right this moment when I thought she was in it.
This is sounding better and better.
I'm saying at least that show gave us a better idea on wizards and all that shit. We ain't getting shit up in this shit.
That show is surprisingly fire, honestly.
It was. Wizard of Waverly Place was the jams. I ain't even gonna hold you.
I had a crush on Mason too.
I had a crush on Selena. I mean, I think that's obvious. Right?
Look, I'm
Joel. Like, I'm glad you didn't jump in. I'm glad you didn't jump in, Joel. I would have looked at you like, hey.
I saw her first.
No, relax. The age there. Relax.
Yeah.
I'm coming from Charmed. I'm coming from WandaVision. They've had, some shit in there. Yeah. Like, I saw, like, All Black has a show called Wicked City. Black Coven. Like that shit is cool. Yeah, American Horror Story Coven. Like, listen, like, y'all got, like, this is not it.
Step it up.
Y'all let her have witches in the title. It's fake. I don't know.
Look, to Trevon's point, we're on episode 3 and there's only 8 or 9. So it's like you don't have much time to start kicking this shit into gear before
quarter way in.
We exit stage left. I mean, because at this point,
pilot's so important too, right? Like that first episode's got to hook you, and if it doesn't,
first episode.
I'm gonna be honest with you. 2 episodes in, and I'm already looking forward to season 2 of Interview with the Vampire. I haven't even finished the season. I haven't even finished the season, and I'm already I just need more of that shit. I just need more of that.
I might do the free trial just so I can fucking finish it.
No, Joel, I'm gonna add it to my DirecTV because I'm now hooked on this fucking shit. And they tell me, hey, you gotta pay for episode 2. Fuck you. I'm gonna do it.
I want to try Gangs of London too. I heard that was good.
Oh, talk to my dad. He swears by that shit.
I hear it's good.
Yeah, he swears by it. To me, I don't think it's real. It's about all these Irishmen and shit, and there's a black dude in the middle of it. I'm like, that's not right. That's not right. That's not accurate. There ain't no black people over there. But no, the Gangs of London you're talking about, right? Yeah, Gangs of London. Yeah, my dad swears by that. So definitely make sure you check that out. But let's see what this last comment is. What's this last comment, Mike? Before we get out of here,
it's just
I'm telling you, Selena and Alec.
I'm not gonna lie, she has helped the viewing part of this.
Oh, wait, Joel, we gotta talk about this before we go. It's 2 seconds, guys, and we're out of here. Trevon, they canceled your show that had the sexiest cast and still couldn't survive. Vampire Academy is out of here. That shit is out. I have never seen a show that sexy that could not hold me for a fucking second. I have never seen that. I didn't even know that could happen.
It was pretty bad.
Trevon, what happened, bro? What happened?
They didn't greenlight it. I don't know shit.
They didn't greenlight it. What?
I don't know what the hell wrong with them over at Peacock. I don't know what the hell they got going on.
Oh my goodness. They like good shows, Trevon. That's what's happening over there.
I want that cast to find a new home, though.
What'd you say, Joel?
So I want that cast to find a new home, though.
Oh, you got that? No. Don't find a. Oh, yes. just go to Interview with a Vampire. Just everybody go to that show, right? Do a proper vampire show and bring all that sexiness with you.
Show had a lot of lore to it. I liked it. Now, don't do that. It was different.
It had a lot of bore to it. Yeah, I agree. That shit was putting me to
it had a lot.
Lord.
Yeah, a lot more shit in it than this Bedford Witch shit. Tell you that.
Can we just?
That's not saying much, Trevon.
No, I was going to say, can we talk about like that article that came out today about Netflix saying we've never canceled successful shows?
Yeah. Oh my god, I was hot about that.
Hold on. Here's the 1 ounce of bail. I will shoot them. I disagree with them. They probably are equating it to what they value success to be. Right,
yeah, their success.
So they're basing it off of what they deem success to be, and if you're not hitting the fake ass Stranger Things numbers, they keep making up every goddamn season that fucking show comes out. Then they're like, you're not successful, right? You didn't have Pablo Escobar in it, you didn't have 11 in it, right? You're not successful. You're gone. You're fucking done. Right?
You don't market it well.
You don't market it right. We're not putting money behind you.
Drop all the shit. Yay!
Fuck it. You're done. You're done. You're done. Right. So that I will say they purely mean what they value success.
Look at him. He looked like he lying.
Yeah.
I love how Didge is ready to box this dude.
Yo, Didge, you ain't never lied, bro. He looked like he lied. He looked like he don't believe what he said.
This is the man who canceled Warrior Nun, everybody.
Is this the man that canceled I'm Not Okay With This?
I said I never canceled a successful show.
Is he? Wait. I thought this guy was new. I
don't care. He said that.
I'm saying he's a new.
I was about to say, you don't just walk in the door and say some stupid ass shit like that. You're culpable now. You're culpable. This is you. This is all you.
See how new this guy is. How long has he been with the company?
You know what that scares me for? That scares me for things like One Piece or Avatar. Like, what do you view success to be that these shows have to hit?
You talk about the live? Yeah, they might.
Yeah,
he's been with the company for 23 years.
Oh, never mind.
Netflix has been out for 23 years?
Yeah, they were founded in 1998.
Remember DVDs? Remember? Yeah, started a long time ago. Yeah,
they tried to sell the Blockbuster. They literally tried to sell the Blockbuster. I think like 05, 06 maybe. And
they were
like, nah.
Yeah, that's when they would mail the DVDs out. You know, the streaming part is relatively new, but yeah.
I remember that. Damn, you said they tried to sell to Blockbuster, Didge?
Yes, they told Blockbuster, we want you guys to buy us. And
you know what they did? They pulled the Drake.
Show making fun of it, right?
They pulled the Drake. They pulled the Drake. They said, all right, bitch, you know what? I'll just buy you. Fuck that. I'll just destroy you. How about that? How's that? Okay? Just destroy you, make a show about you, cancel that shit too. Because fuck you, right? Just do all that, you know? This is why you can't fuck around with petty people with money.
We've never canceled a successful show. Get dude off my screen.
Hey, he said it. Get him off his screen. Get him off his screen.
I did it.
He said it. Hey, he said it. But yeah, I think that's a bunch of BS. But again, I from a business standpoint, I do think he purely means what he deems to be successful, which apparently is not what we deem.
A lot of shit there.
Obviously, I'm trying to see what.
I also want to point out while you're thinking, Joe, I want to point out really quick when they showed that sizzle reel of like the stuff coming out this year for Netflix.
Yeah.
I didn't get part 2 of that what's her name? What's that movie? You know I love, Joel, that with the people they died, but like they don't really die because they live forever.
I forget.
That wasn't part of the sizzle reel. I was very confused. They said it's supposed to come out this year. It's Charlize Theron. Remember where they like they're ancient people?
The Old Guard or whatever.
Yeah, that's Old Guard. Part 2 has Henry Golding and Uma Thurman. It's supposed to come out this year, but it wasn't part of their sizzle reel. So I'm like, well, what the fuck? Is it?
They didn't show everything.
Canceled that too.
Well, no, they showed their biggest things, but I'm like, I thought this was one of your biggest things. That's why you made a part 2.
Maybe it's 2024 now.
They might not have footage.
You gotta wait for kdown when that comes out.
They filmed this shit a year and a half ago. It ain't no film, bitch. You got film. Fucking put a little clip up.
Kdown.
I will never get over Matt Reeves having a full-on Batman trailer after like a day of shooting.
That's what I'm saying. And you know what, Mike? That has warped me. Because now I'm like, whenever someone goes, bro, we've only been filming for an hour. Bitch, you got something. You put it up. You put it up, okay? Fucking make me wait a year and a half. You put it up. That's why let's talk about this. We didn't talk about this. Invincible. I don't know who told y'all that a cock tease was how you go about your promotion, but we was expecting a trailer. Okay, I don't give a fuck about all that shit. All right, I want a trailer.
You know, I liked it, and I wasn't mad at it. I'm like,
thank you, Trevon. Thank you, Trevon.
I was honestly just happy that it still was a thing. You know, I'm like, all right, I'll see y'all later this year. Let's do it.
Same. Like, I know what's coming.
I was just happy y'all still doing this shit. I got scared.
Because they said season
Netflix,
2 coming,
okay,
season 3 coming, and then we heard nothing for like a year. And I'm like, well,
you know what it was? You know what it was? Right after they said that, they talked to the producers of Lord of the Rings. They said, yeah, we're gonna need about $1 billion. They said, oh, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all might not get some extra seasons. This shit fuck up. Hold on now. Let's see. We might not have the budget for this shit. All right, hold on now.
Oh yeah, we also know God of War now. Also, we stood on the board.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
like Invincible.
God of War too, right?
No, see, I didn't need a real date because I assume it's coming out this year. I just needed a trailer. The show I feel like came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
that was my issue.
It did.
I'm like,
it did.
If you have actual footage, I want an actual trailer. It could have even been a teaser. You know what I thought they were gonna do was when he asked him what has he been up to. I thought they was just going to show a trailer of what to expect this season and then come back to the table of him going, yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then when he was just talking, I was like,
kind of did the end of last season. Remember that's last season.
Right, yes, right. I'm like, I'm not fucking here to see you talk. I'm wasting my afternoon. Mike was like, yo, so we're going to do a trailer reaction, right? Like, you got it, brother. We there. As soon as that shit ended, it was just like, oh, hell no. What was that? What was that?
From a content creation standpoint, that was a bummer. But I'm going to be real. I liked it. I like just the conversation between Mark and Alan and how he still can't find Roth. I thought that was kind of fun.
I thought it was.
Thank you, Trevon. Thank you, Trevon.
I was like, this is bullshit. What is this? That was so bad.
I guess this shows how big of a nerd I am. Like, I'm just sitting here like, ooh, yeah, look, they updated the animation style. That's what
I see. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say the biggest thing for me was the fact that the animation. I'm like, what are they doing?
That stood out a lot.
Okay.
Why are you saying like that, Jamie?
I mean, that's how I was feeling too.
Animation is freaking
hard. Oh, what you doing? Oh,
it's
shit.
Freaking hard. Okay, so when you change it up and they were like, they made it extra crispy. I'm like, all right, I will see y'all later this year. Okay.
Nah, I'm half with y'all, half with Trevon. More so with Trevon. Fuck all that shit.
I mean, you know, I would have been happy to get a trailer, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Same.
Cock tease, motherfuckers. That shit hurt me to my core. I was excited. I told my dad, get ready. Get ready. You ready?
Well,
I was watching that shit. I texted back. I said, don't even worry.
You know the craziest part,
he said, what happened? They was just talking at that table. Don't even
I think it hit 4 million views on YouTube just now.
You want to know why? Because I think people were tuning in thinking it was a trailer. Yeah. Oh, let me check this trailer. Oh, these
people still tuning in. They're still checking it out. You know?
That is true. That is true. That's a new thing now.
There's no reaction.
Jamie did get swaggy with it.
What happened?
Right. So all they got is just that. Right. Yeah.
Go click it.
But I will say, because I don't think we were potting together when this show came out. Joel was hyping me off the idea of like, there's some crazy ass shit they could do with this show. It's some real crazy shit they could do with this show.
I read this book years ago.
I think.
It was Trevon. Yeah, it was Invincible for you. But yeah, I mean, because to me, I'm like, I just have so many questions. I was hoping I would get some footage to answer. Like, is his dad back? Is his dad gone? Did he go search for his dad? Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I would have loved to see the footage of that, but whatever.
There's so much you don't know.
You need to fight battle.
Well, remember, there isn't much I don't know, Joel. You told me everything. We talked about it 2 years ago.
Everything.
There's more from what you told me?
Well, tell me.
More.
Does he get a remix of Battle Beast?
Huh?
Yo, there's a certain part of this series that's going to be really wild to be seen on screen.
Yeah.
Unless they change it, you know.
That's so crazy.
Invincible has been remixed.
You almost have to. You almost have to.
I mean,
is it bad like violence?
I mean, I feel like they already hit the violence bar. They blew that out of the water. So.
Is what you're saying violence driven?
It's different.
Worse than what we
We'll get there when season here. We'll get there. We'll get there.
No, worse than what we've seen though.
It's not worse than violence. I mean, it's worse than violence.
That's hard to explain.
You almost. It is.
We're not going to say anything. We'll just revisit this topic once the moment passes.
It's going to be controversial.
No, and what season? A season 2 or what? What do you think?
We don't know. I mean, it doesn't happen anytime soon.
Didge. No, I'll tell you off air. Yeah, I'm not gonna put this on there. I'll tell you off air. Go ahead. I'll tell you off air.
DJ Vinny's right. They might have to change it.
They might.
Well, we'll see.
They might.
We'll see. In today's world, they put everything in everything. So it's like that hot sauce commercial. I put that shit on everything. So they might drop it. They might drop it.
The book is amazing. I never finished it. I still have I think. I don't remember how many issues. I'm like 100 something, but it's crazy.
You're gonna tell us over here, Trevon. Relax. Relax. I just said when we get off air. All right, let's wrap this shit up. Right.
I'd rather not tell you guys let it happen. Honestly.
No, you're gonna tell me. You're
gonna tell me if they do it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This has been another episode of Much Ado About Nothing. I want to thank Jamie, Joel, Trevon, Didge, and the man behind it all, Mike. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in with me. Oh, no, not tuning in. I'm sorry. Joining me for this episode. You guys weren't the audience. Sorry, I confused that.
Yes.
Yeah, Trevon needs to know. He'll find out in a second. But thank you guys so much. Stay tuned. We are getting very close to not only the release of Hogwarts Legacy, but also Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So stay tuned. Okay? We got so much coming. Oh, no, the script leaks are the best. Find them. And if you find them, you'll have the best time ever. But we cannot wait, guys, for you to see what we have in store. Until next time. Peace.